Hey, what's going on, Internet? How y'all doing? Now I can see you guys. Sometimes I get some stuff wrong sometimes. All right, so we're good now? Are we good? Everybody see me now? Got to make sure everybody's seeing me now. I'm sorry if it breaks your screen. There we go. Hey Jeff, what up, man? Thanks for helping me troubleshoot this one again. I sometimes it's a little circuitous to get things going on this end, but we're good now. William, how you doing, bro? Were you guys able to hear me earlier? No, I bet you guys weren't even able to hear me. I don't know. Oh, jeez. Wow, maybe I'm behind all this stuff I was babbling about. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I got a haircut the other day. My hair was like all scraggly and long, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling that anymore. Yeah, well, Chippy the bunker, I can't fix. That's a bigger one. I did not ban you today, Joker. I promise you, I didn't. I was working on some other stuff. I don't think I banned. I don't think I banned anybody today. Nah, I know I banned somebody. Nah, I banned that dude that has the unicorn, like the pink unicorn. I banned him. He was doing something stupid. I don't remember what it was. Hornacia says he can't hear the caller. Yeah. Brad, I hear you, brother. I know. I wish the bunker was working better. Just for those of you who are getting new to the chat because I didn't fucking start it the way that I should have, we are having some trouble on the bunker on our message boards. That's a network problem. It's not something I broke. I fed the hamster. The wheel's turning. Everything's good on my end, but not so great on the AuburnSports.com. Joker, I'm not familiar with what you're specifically talking about. I was doing some other stuff during the game, so we'll work on that later. All right. Jeff says, I hope you banned the first caller from last week. I told Sir Hiss on the board I wasn't going to take his call tonight. So, yeah, it's not that he thinks it's because he's negative, and it's not that. I totally enhance or embrace the negativity because they lost again. And Joker says Sir Hiss was dead on. Again, I'm not criticizing the content of what he was saying. I just thought that he was being a bore on purpose. And so Scott says, JGT, why does Gus suck? I don't know if I can answer you on that. I don't really know. I don't know if he sucks, but he just doesn't perform in the big games. I think Marion had the stat earlier about his record in these big games against LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. It's Marion. What was it again? I should probably know that, but it's like 6-20 or something like that. I mean, it's not even close to good. Blackhawk does note that basketball got a huge commitment today out of power forward out of West Memphis, Arkansas, who was considered to be a lock for Arkansas and then ends up committing today to Auburn. 4-star power forward, 6'6" guy, and they like him a lot. I hate to get off on the basketball tangent, but yeah. Okay, what we want to talk about some stats again. I do want to go through some of these because these are crazy. Y'all can see them now. I've got the daggone video going. Marion says 250 against Georgia, unacceptable. Agreed. Agree completely. So these are the stats here. Auburn 329 yards to 251 from Georgia. Georgia finishes 3 of 15 on third down. Auburn 5 of 18. Really not much better. Auburn goes 1 of 4 on fourth down. I know that, I mean, some of those were kind of not well leveraged because of the situation, but yeah, you'd hope you'd be better there. 86 plays for Auburn is a ton. And to hold them on 64 plays, that's pretty good. I mean, I felt like if they would defend less than 65 plays, it'd be okay. And the defense was better than okay. The defense was fine. This is not a loss on the defense. This is a loss on the offense not getting its shit together until the fourth quarter. Let's be real about it. William Taylor says, Fromm is absolute trash. Don't know about that, but he didn't really make much of a difference today, I didn't think. Jeff correctly notes 50 pass attempts. Aren't we a running play action team? I know, man. I'm surprised myself. Let me pull up that pane real quick. There we go, right there. 30 of 50 for Bo Nix. And when Gus was trying to say, and he said it up until like right before they kicked off, we're gonna have to run the football. I was like, bullshit. I didn't think this was gonna come down to running the football because they didn't have what it takes to run the football. I really did. I don't think Auburn had the beef up front to consistently win those encounters along the line of scrimmage, and Gus knew it. He knew it. And he wasn't even going to do that. He knew that. He knew coming in they were going to throw the ball a ton. And I don't blame him for that part of it. I just think that the execution wasn't quite there. And as you can see there, I mean, you're targeting Seth Williams 20 times. Dude, there's other guys who can catch the ball. Anthony Schwartz has been a reliable receiver of the football all year long. Like, there's no reason he can't be targeted more. Will Hastings gets 7, had a big drop on a first down catch, but whatever. I mean, Will does some of that. Hey, you Taxman says Gus actually said the offense is a work in progress. Did he really say that? God, I hope he didn't, for his sake. I guess I need to be really straight with you guys, and we're going to be talking about this all night, but here's kind of where I see this going. Okay, so this is exactly the kind of loss that I thought would be the worst for Gus, because if they lose 38-36 on like that kind of ball they lost, what was it, 99 or 2000 when Michael Johnson went over, was it Horace Willis for the scoring touchdown, the winning touchdown? If it was one of those games, I mean, I think people could maybe overlook it some, but to lose a game 21-14 and really not even piss a drop until the fourth quarter, like, it's just a bad look. Brantley says he did say it, so does John. So, all right, I wish I could have been there to hear that. I was getting ready for the show. Oh, man, work in progress. In game 10 or 11, good God, you can't say that. You just can't say that. I don't understand it. I'll tell him tomorrow what I think about it. Not that he cares if he asks me. Sometimes he does. So what'd you think about that? I'll be like, did you say it was a work in progress for real? That's crazy. All right, 20 targets for Seth Williams is insane. 13 catches. There was some consternation earlier about if that catch that it was ruled a catch on the field and then it was taken away on review. I thought he was still he was changing hands, and I thought it was kind of a bumble. I don't think he had possession of the ball until after his foot was out. I thought that was a fine call. I didn't know the onside kick kind of confused me a little bit because they were reviewing it, I thought, for illegal touching prior to the 10-yard, which didn't happen. And then they called retroactively Anthony Schwartz for an illegal block, which I didn't know that was reviewable. I don't know all these rules. There's so many little technicalities that I just no way I could keep up with that, but that was kind of BS. Yo, Malcolm says that was a catch. Hey, man. I thought he was bobbling a little bit. That's all. I wish he'd have just held it and not changed hands. He would have been fine, I think. But I'm not kvetching over that. Seth's made a lot of plays this year, and he made a lot of plays tonight. Johnny B. Good says he was visibly pissed off during the presser, like for real, no telling he even knew what he was talking about. I mean, I heard the first few questions, and I could tell he was really down, but I mean, you would expect that after you lose at home to Georgia. Whew. That's a bad loss, man. That's a bad loss for the way it looks. So to continue what I was saying earlier, I just got off track. My thought was if they lost the game 38-36 on a last-second play or something, it looks better than 14-21 at home where you can't piss a drop until the fourth quarter. And so I think the people who hate Gus, and there's a lot of them, a lot of the people that are in power are just kind of done with him. This is just going to make the knives come out a little bit more. And it's going to be an interesting situation where, okay, so does Auburn want to fire him? And then, they owe him money, obviously, in that situation. Does Arkansas really want him at this point? Did Arkansas want him to start with? I mean, I know there was some chatting going on, but remember now, from the Arkansas perspective, they know that Gus is not exactly a world beater, and they also know that he used them to get this crazy contract, crazy buyout that he's got here at Auburn. So they were kind of patsies in that whole thing, and I think a lot of the people over there are pissed about it. Now, I've been told by people who would know that some of the important people at Arkansas do like Gus and would like to have Gus. But I just wonder how that sells to the Arkansas people. because I think that matters. If a significant portion of the fan base thinks he's a traitor and whatever, not very good, it's not going to work. I don't know. Those people seem to really like Bob Petrino, which seems crazy to me. But I mean, it's what he did at Louisville most recently matters. They were terrible. He ran them into the ground. Grindhard said Arkansas would be fine with 8-4. I feel like if Gus could do it, if he can go to Arkansas and kind of restart his clock, so to speak, in the SEC, I think it would behoove him to do that. I really do, because you're right. I think that the expectations are lower at Arkansas. And he can do the kind of job he's doing now and be fine there. That's just me talking. So if he has that option available, I think he ought to take a look at it, and I think he's going to take a look at it. I do. I mean, I think they're going to talk. We've also talked on the bunker that in the incident that Gus leaves, who's Auburn going to go get? I'm telling you, it's going to be Kevin Steele. If you think it should be PJ Fleck or you think it should be Matt Norvell, it's not going to be Matt Norvell or some other person. I mean, just you pick it. It's not going to be that person. It's going to be Kevin Steele. If Gus is not here, it's going to be Kevin. Barring some kind of very strange turn of events. So just start thinking about that and just get your head around that, okay? Jeff, I'm telling you, brother. I know what I'm talking about on this. Any other stats really tickle your twine, so to speak? Bo Nix, the leading rusher in both attempts and yards. He has tied for the longest run of the day. I thought DJ was pretty good when he was in there. I thought Booby was pretty good when he was in there. Better than I expected, honestly. Booby had a particularly bad Wildcat situation there late in the half. It's not good. And Bo did a nice little juke on Monty Rice to get in the end zone, that second touchdown. That was pretty sweet, but he's not really a runner. You don't want to hang it on him. Ed says, go get a passing coordinator. Dude, there's a few things they need, I would think. Now, AU88 can't use that word, bro. Not going to do that. Brendan Lowe says, has Kevin Steele been a head coach? How does that improve the offense? Kevin Steele has been a head coach. He was the head coach at Baylor. I want to say somewhere in the range of 1990 to 93. It did not go well. This was before Baylor got good. This is back when Baylor sucked all the time. And he's terrible. But I think he got fired in like 93 or 94. And he hasn't been a head coach since then. So to me, that doesn't even matter. I mean, you either think he can do it or you can't. And the fact that he struggled at Baylor, it just doesn't matter. I mean, he's like 62 years old. I mean, what he did when he was 35, I mean, I just don't care anymore. Doesn't matter. It's not relevant to what he's doing now. Chip says, need number one is to fire Gus. I don't know. I don't know. If they lose to Alabama, I think that, I don't know. So here's the problem that I run into, and people in my situation who are trying to understand, like, what's going to happen at Auburn. First of all, Auburn's a non-linear place. A lot of times the things that make sense to you reasonably when you're thinking about it is not what happens. Decisions are made kind of, I don't want to say they're hastily made. They're just made emotionally. And it's like I mentioned on one of the shows last week where if you kind of decide that, you don't want to date this chick anymore, you're kind of done. Whether whether it's today or tomorrow next week. I just feel like there's enough people at Auburn that are to that point now, or will be to that point now. Johnny B. Goods is a 62-year-old head ball coach. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Steele would let the offensive coordinator do his job exactly. Kevin Steele, he's the defensive guy. He knows that. A Taxman says, I can't see him being fired even with a Bama loss. I can. I don't necessarily think it would come to that, though. I don't think that they would just straight up fire him. I think they would just have to work something out with like Arkansas or something. Marion says 17 losses due to offensive ineptitude since 2015. I haven't counted them up, but they're having some issues. There's no doubt about that. Let's see. A couple other things that stood out to me in this game. Let's see. Daniel Thomas made some bad mistakes. He was responsible for that first touchdown, even though it looked like it was on Tutt. It was actually on. Tutt was operating as though he had over the top support, and then Daniel Thomas bit on that play fake, which I didn't even think was a great play fake. Got sucked in. Receiver went right past him, and then Tutt was toast. He thought he had safety help. So he's going to be in a trail technique if he knows he's got somebody over him. And then all of a sudden he's not. He doesn't have anybody to help him, and he's in bad shape. Yeah, Ed Darby, good question. What's up with the timeout before half? I think he thought he was going to preserve that time to try to get another possession, and then they gave up DeAndre Swift broke out for like a 15-yard gain on third down, or maybe it was second and long, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of on, and it just got away from him. Sean Tiger says Gus is a young coach. He just needs time. I used to bang on Tuberville about that so much back years ago. He'd lose a game, and I'd say something about him being a young coach, and it really pissed him off. And even now when I see Tommy, when he sees me, he's like, hey, you still think I'm a young coach? Oh, man. Well, I'm tempted to get this phone line open. The one thing I really want to do is I really want to try to get this on the bunker before I do that, because I really like the way it's been working this year, where it's 99% bunker callers. Not to hate on anybody who's not an auburnsports.com subscriber. You guys are welcome to call. I just don't really put the number in the chat. We've had a few. I know Dope did that. Called in, kind of cold called, and he ended up being a member, and I think it's awesome. But I would like to keep it open to subscribers if I can, and I haven't been able to get it on the board. I mean, I'll do it, but trying to post a new thread here. Okay, it just popped up. Thank you. Sorry, I know this is scintillating content here. Let me get this posted to the bunker, and so they can jump in, because I know we got some folks that are ready to talk. I'll make it a headline that gets people pissed off. Auburn loses to UGA again. That'll get them pissed off. Oh, I got to put the number on here. You guys remember the number? I got to look it up. I've written it down like 10 times. Now the bunker's not broke, dude. I just pulled it up. Believe it or not, first time in like 20 minutes. I've been trying. B-Max says, let's get weird. I don't think you're going to have to tell anybody that. I think it's just going to happen. Brad says, $5 says you can't post in that thread. Let's see if I can do it. I need to get the phone number, though, first. Oh, man. As soon as I pull up Skype, it's going to blow up. All right. Let's see what happens. I'm just going to have to turn it off. Cleveland Brown, I'll get back to you here in just a second about what I'm drinking. I'll be happy to talk with you about that. I just got to get this number up. Here it is. There it is. Yeah. $5, Brad. I got you, bro. You're good for it. I know you're good for it. That just means that whatever you decide you're going to quit auburnsports.com, you got to go 1/2 month longer. Okay? And also, to let you guys know, those of you who are really active members, I've been in negotiations with Fats Geronimo about letting him off. I permabanned him a while back. Fats did. He's pretty funny, but he's also a little crass. And he's been trying to get back on, and we've been kind of negotiating about it. I don't know if you guys have an opinion on Fats Geronimo. I also, to those of you who listen to G-Pits, which is the show I do with Neil, I had a friend of mine, like one of my best friends, who's, well, I guess our best couple friend, or one, we have a couple couples that we hang out with. You guys know what I'm talking about, those of you in your 40s and older. Her brother-in-law got sick and needed a kidney, and she ended up being a match for this dude. She's not blood relative to him, but she just ended up being a match for him. And she agreed to give him her kidney, or one of them. So she flew out. I talked about this on G-Pitch. She flew out to Denver 3 days ago, and they had the surgery 2 days ago, and it went well. She's recuperating. She's going to fly home to the East Coast tomorrow. I cannot believe that. So she is I just think that's one of the most heroic things I've ever seen, like just to give somebody your kidney, and now she's going to go through life with one kidney, and this guy's going to have the other one, and He was really sick. I think she didn't tell me this, but I think he was within a few weeks of dying. And so the kidney is in him, and it's functional, and he's doing okay. He got up to move and walk today, and it's going to be a little time before we can tell if he's going to be actually good, but preliminary signs are really cool. So, yeah, that's a crazy deal. I just want to keep you guys updated, those of you who listen to G-Pits. I was able to get that on the board so folks know that the show is going. To those of you from auburnsports.com who have just jumped on, welcome. Thank you, as always, for being a subscriber to what we do there at the site. I also think Fats is hilarious, dude. He makes me laugh probably more often than he should. But he also said some things back a couple years ago that were so bad that I just couldn't. I was like, dude, I think this is the end of the road. I was going to sing to him like, although we've come to the end of the road. Let's see. Abe Taxman says, can we get Ben Wolk to call? Why would we want to talk to Ben Wolk? Huh? We don't want to talk to Ben. I don't care about that. I love Ben, but I don't really want to hear his UGA shit, honestly. I mean, I watched the game. I know what happened. Tonight, Cleveland Brown, we are drinking Old Granddad 114. I just feel like it's an appropriate choice considering the circumstances. It's kind of rough. This free fat stuff. Dude, Fats has been permabanned since 17. I mean, it was today would not be the day to start that whole thing. He's been gone for like 2 years, yo. I did want to point out, I know I got a little bit a little too turned for the Ole Miss game, the show we did after the Ole Miss game, so I'm going to be a little more responsible with my drinking tonight and not drink quite as much. Paul, I will do that. I wasn't singing. I just want to do it that one time. Cleve says 21-3 Baylor. I did pick Baylor to win that game. Hey, Sean. Thank you very much for jumping in with a super chat there. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Thank you, sir. Glad to have you here. Jeff joking that I need a liver transplant soon. No, I gotta hope not. Still can't believe she did that, though. She is absolutely a hero. I've been checking in with her tonight, and she had just texted me to say that my wife and I, that she was doing good. She's back to the townhouse where she got like an Airbnb, and she said she wishes the house had a lazy boy. Yeah. I'd like to think that I could do that I could give away an organ like that to somebody that, it's like, I mean, my sister's dead, but if she was alive, obviously I'd do it for my sister, but her husband, I don't know, man. Like, I'd like to think that I would, but I don't know. It's crazy. Thanks again to Sean, man. That was awesome. That's our first super chat. Appreciate that, bro. Okay, so we were going to start that. It's on the bunker now. I know we've got a lot of things to talk about with Gus. I've already told you guys how I feel about it. I think that if he can go to Arkansas, he ought to go to Arkansas at this point. I just don't think that. I mean, nothing's ever settled. I mean, if he goes out there and beats Alabama, 50-0, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying weird things happen sometimes, and at that point, the situation changes. But, hey, Black Hawk Driver. He says, what does this mean? Am I a super chatter? You are indeed. Thank you, sir, for the $1.99. Appreciate that. Supporting the chat and what we do here at auburnsports.com with our brain drain. Love the Cat says, I would give you my brother's kidney, Jay. Man, that means a lot. I'm sure that he really appreciates you offering that up. That's awesome. DXH says, half the money's been raised to free Fats. Dude, I love Fats. If I trusted him to be the guy that he says he is now, I would do it. I just got to vet him a little bit. That's all. I love Fats. He's been funny. He said some mean things about me, but I probably deserve some of them. It's not always easy being at the switch like this. I'm telling you that right now. Sometimes people act like dicks, and it's tempting for me to act like a dick back. I don't usually do that, but sometimes I get a little harsh with people, and, I acknowledge to them, at least privately, what I've done, if I feel like I've done something wrong. Oh, someone help me out. Is it 6 and 16? Texas AU Tiger, that's a great question. We will probably ask BMAT that, because he's the man that likes to ask that question. I remember last year when they lost at Georgia, BMAT got like the third question. He was like, Yeah, Gus. Whatever he was. You're 5-15 against your big rivals. How do you feel about that? I was like, damn. And when Jeffrey found out the other day that Brian had asked that question, did you hear him on the rundown? He started laughing so hard. I'm drinking Old Granddad 114 is what I'm drinking tonight. Joker, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you very much. Says, are we paying for Gus's buyout? Hell yeah, we are. No, we're not really. It would take a lot of super chatting. Although if I had some of those folks on here, I had the board of trustees or Mr. Louder on here, I bet we could raise a lot of money. I just don't know if they would jump on with me. Yeah, I don't know if they would or they wouldn't. Oh, poetry for the failed priest. How dare you say that? It was you used a bad word. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull up this phone line. I do want to warn you guys, it's probably going to get a little hairy tonight. People are pissed. I totally get it. It's a frustrating time to be an Auburn fan. But it's just, if you guys are going to call in, it's a little decorum. That's all I'm asking. You don't have to be a sunshine pumper. You don't have to be a Gus defender. Just maybe a few cuss words and not a bunch. And let's leave family out of it. Christy's a cool person. We like Christy. She's not responsible for anything that's happened on the field. She's been really cool. She works a lot harder than you guys realize. Uh-oh, my man D. Haynes 99. I know who that is. Jeff Cheney. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for jumping in on the super chat. And I probably owe you money for your support. You helped me out a lot like 3 or 4 weeks ago when I was having trouble. So thank you very much. And I want to give it also shout out to my friend D. Haynes 99. I know who that is. That's my guy right there. And I want you to remember, D. Haynes, I gave you some very good advice on your birthday like 2-3 weeks ago, I think it was. I was with your dad. And I hope that you took those words to heart because I think it's stuff that will guide you throughout life. Jacob Garrison jumps in. How do I call in and I want PJ Fleck and I love you? Oh, my goodness. You want PJ Fleck. I don't think you're going to get PJ Fleck. He just signed a new contract with Minnesota. And I know I'm Minnesota on the whole thing, obviously, but I think the people want Kevin Steele. DXH, I'm sorry I keep shanking that, dude. Thank you also for a super chat. So this is toward your next bottle of liquor or the Malzahn buyout fund. I would prefer the latter, but I'm okay with either. I'm doing good on bourbon. As you guys know, I don't drink the really good stuff. I drink the middle tier or bottom stuff. Let's see. Stretch texts in to see what's up. Yeah, I love having Stretch on the show. He's a good. He may have some expertise in football and whatnot. Anyway, DH. God, did it again. DXH. Thank you again for your support. Also, Jeff Cheney, you're the best. Joker. Thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. Black Hawk Driver. Same thing. That's an intriguing name. Is that something you've actually done? Sounds like it'd be a tough gig there. And Sean Tanger, thank you very much for your support. All right, seriously, we got to get this thing going. Oh, hold on, Marion. What did you say? I love Gus. I really do, but being dominated by Georgia and Bama, regardless of the circumstances, is not acceptable at Auburn. Yes, that's true. I get it. I hear where you're coming from on that. I do. All right, let's get this thing pulled up, seriously. GarageBand. We're going to shut that bad boy down. All right, the phone line is open. We've already got a voice message. I'm probably not going to listen to that. It's probably best that I not do that. Some of the voice messages people leave are pretty funny. Oh, my God. Here it comes. All right, let's start off with this call. Hold on, I got to turn this down. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just getting started from the 770.
Thanks.
What's going on, caller? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing, JG?
I'm good. Who I got on the horn?
You got Ruxpin. Ruxpin.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for calling back in, man. I know you were here, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah. I love everything you guys do. Love you, Jay Lee, and Brian Matthews, Nate King, all that.
Yeah, thanks.
But anyways, I was pretty disappointed in the first half today and the third quarter, but what happened? How did we start scoring at the end there?
How did that happen?
Yeah, how did we start scoring at the end? That was insane to me.
Yeah, I know. They just started making plays where they weren't making plays before, and I thought the sequencing was better, and I thought the defense continued holding them, and there was just kind of an energy finally. God bless. It took 3 quarters.
I know. I thought it was amazing, but like, why? And I know you probably heard this a lot tonight, but like, how? What? Like, why did they decide to start scoring? You know, why did they decide to do that offense tonight?
Well, they were trying to score the whole time, man, but they just didn't get in a groove until it was too late, I guess. Does it bother you that they started scoring?
No, it definitely bothers me because obviously want to win, but
yeah.
Also, I wanted to talk about the face mask on the last drive.
Yeah, that was
not called.
That was kind of bullshit. Yeah,
it was definitely bullshit.
Yeah, it was bad.
But I also agree at that point. Like, we should be up more points by then. Like, we can't blame it all on that call. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I mean that's one call they missed for sure. But yeah, I don't know. They miss calls every game. I mean, it's just part of life. I don't know, that's just kind of.
But I will say, with Tua going down today, I don't know if he's come back or anything. But 9-3, beat Bama, go to the ball game.
Yeah, and are you happy with that, or would you be happy with that?
I mean, start the season, definitely happy with that. I would be happy with that before today, but today, I think a lot of people would be disappointed in the offense in the first half. It was very unimpressive.
Yeah, the first three quarters, really.
It was, honestly, it was just, like, when Georgia went up 7-0, where they threw, I think it was Fromm to Dominique Blaylock, Mookie's son, to start the game off, I was like, yep, that's game. Honestly, I told a bunch of my buddies, I'm not proud of that, but I was like, I just don't see us scoring that much.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think they scored hardly at all until late. I thought they were going to lose this game 21-0. I really did. I mean, because going through the third quarter, they looked like absolute dog shit, right?
Yeah, honestly, like I was like once we scored, and I feel bad for saying this, but like I was giddy like a little kid. I was like, oh shit, at least we didn't get shut out. Like,
yeah.
I was so happy that we didn't get shut out, honestly. And that to me is embarrassing.
It's a step in the right direction, right?
Yeah. But JG, love everything you guys do, and y'all keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, Ruxpin. You be good. All right, that's Ruxpin. I think Ruxpin's been drinking, but I guess a lot of us have, really. I mean, to be honest with you. The phone's ringing off the hook. We got to take some of these calls. Hello, caller. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
What's up? Who I got on the horn?
Hey, well, call me Virginia Tiger.
Regina?
Virginia.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
State.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what's going on?
I've got some buddies that told me to call in for this. I've been watching YouTube videos for a few weeks now.
Oh, cool. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yeah, man. So I've got one big question for you, and that is, if there were 5 plays on offense Auburn can call next week against Hanford and feel like that's with their identity, what would they be?
That's a great question. We should be able to answer that. That should be a really easy one. I would say a one back power, that RPO that goes to the slant to Seth or Schwartz. That's 2. Probably the sweep, although it will get you 2 yards and nothing more. That's 3. A quarterback power would be 4. I don't know, some other kind of
quarterback power with Nix. Like, are you going to run him with no backup?
Well, they did tonight. I mean, he was their leading rusher both in carries and yards. I couldn't believe it.
I guess what I was trying to get at, but you've done a very good job really quickly on that question was, is there an identity that this Auburn offense has?
Yeah, Gus keeps saying that we're going to run first and play action, but they were actually play actioning to try to run tonight. It was backwards, which is fine, except it didn't work. So I don't really know what they like to think of themselves, Virginia Tiger, as a power running team that takes some deep shots. But that doesn't sound like the kind of team that takes 50 throws in a game and doesn't hardly really try to run. So I don't really know.
10 games in, and that doesn't seem like that's the case. Right?
I know.
It's pretty bad. It feels like.
They're still searching and hunting, I think, a little bit. And I did not have a chance to listen to the entire postgame, but we had several folks in the chat say that Gus said they're still a working offense, or they're an offense in progress. And did he really say that, guys? I mean, I still can't believe that that's true. That's a little disheartening if you're an Auburn fan to hear that 10 games in. I mean, good God.
No, it really is. It's terrible.
All right, anyway. I want you to know you're not our only Virginia Tiger. We actually have somebody else, some Virginia folks that are on the board. So don't feel lonely.
Well, I've been to a couple. We've got some meetups here in Richmond, Virginia, for the Auburn Club and all that good stuff.
Oh,
and I know that some of them are on the board, and we'll keep rooting for the Tigers.
All right, awesome.
Hopefully, we can turn this thing around at some point.
Yeah, that'd be great. All right, have a good time up in the Commonwealth,
appreciate
my man. See ya. Virginia Tiger calling in. I'm trying to think. We have can't remember his handle right off. I mean, I know him in my real life, but we have a couple, like I would call Hall of Fame posters that are in Virginia. These calls are hard to choose between. We'll take this 205 call right here. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
This is Auburn Alumni.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, man, I'm just basking in the glow of another offensive renaissance when we play an elite team or a top 20 team. We're running out of descriptives after these games. It seems.
Yeah, I know, and I think you've pointed out you were concerned that in these big games, Gus tends to kind of lay eggs, and sure enough, against Georgia, he laid an egg, kind of, didn't he? I mean, I'm curious to hear from you, Auburn alumni, if you thought that fourth quarter, did it change things at all for you in your mind?
No. It did this. It obviously makes it a little bit easier to go into work on Monday here in Atlanta. That we didn't just lay down and die.
Yeah.
But the problem is, and I think this is true of just about everybody, is it's getting to become a broken record where we're like, gosh, our kids played so hard and we fought so hard, but time and time and time again, we just completely are ill-equipped from a scheme, from personnel decisions, everything. And it goes back to Gus. I mean, again, why are you telling the press and the fans that we're a work in progress with 2 games left in the season? And here's the other question about that is how many times, including this week, we're a run, play, action team. We're a run, play, action team. And we come back and we throw the ball 50 times. But not just that, Jay. This is the issue. And it's not like it was a variation. It was the same, 5 yards from the line, a slant, bubble screens, screens to the outside. Again, I point out, as this is the drum I've beat forever, we should be throwing a deep 50-50 shot to Schwartz every quarter minimum. We need to be, and I know that we went to Seth again on a couple of balls, and there was one in particular that I think if Bo had put it a little bit more in bounds, he probably comes down with it. But regardless, again, the talent you have is not being schemed up to be utilized appropriately. And it's the same thing. I mean, I'm fine with running a screen, for Schwartz from time to time. I'm not cool with that being the entire game plan for him.
Yeah.
And I don't care if they're playing 2 deep safeties. The guy has got an Olympic track star speed. He can split any safety in America. Get him the ball downfield. And
he got 9 targets tonight. Now, I know some of those were the kind of plays you were talking about that probably were not going to be big gainers, but he got targeted 9 times, got 7 catches. So, I mean, they were using him some. It's just that Seth had 20 targets, dude. 20!
Yeah. And the thing is Seth was balling. I mean, he played great. And, again, it's nothing against the players. Again, played their guts out, but why does it take 3 quarters for us to figure things out? Why does it take us 3 quarters? And part of it was the defense. I know Georgia switching it up. But why in the world are we not even attempting really to run the ball to start with? I mean, we came out slinging it like crazy. And we're like that. I mean, if Bo's going to throw the ball 50 times in a game, we're probably not going to win. And especially if you consistently are telling us that we're a run, play, action team, well, where's the play action? You're running the ball, 1 time out of 10.
Yeah. 30 for 50 tonight. That's crazy to think that. Yeah.
And you see my post on the board, Jay, and obviously I think the whole sunshine pupper doom and gloom thing is the dumbest thing on the planet. I think that you can be, someone that obviously we're all desperate for Auburn to win. We all want to, but I had felt the same way that Brian Matthews had felt. I said, as bad as that Florida game was and as bad as the LSU game was, he's got a chance to change the narrative in November. He's got a chance to prove to the Auburn fan base, to the media, to the power brokers, to everybody, hey, I've got this program still in the right direction. We got good young talent. And to basically lay an egg for three quarters, again, the defense puts up numbers that make you just completely scratch your head how it's a loss. They had 9 3-and-outs, they forced.
Yeah.
They hold Georgia to 250 yards of offense. That is a W any day of the week, unless you are Auburn. It's the same situation. Our defense has to put up historical numbers for us to win a game.
Yeah.
And, here's the thing. I mean, even without Tua, there is not a single solitary Auburn person out there that feels great about our chances against Alabama, even with Mac Jones coming into Jordan Hare.
Yeah, no.
They're just not.
At this point, you should think they should win that game, and I don't feel that way.
No, and so that leads to this question, and Jay, you would know more than we would. I said, and I've said on a couple of posts, I said, I don't think 8-4 gets him fired unless it's an 8-4 where he drops every single game against the rival, and he does it in a fashion, obviously, that also is kind of a black eye. If you come out and you lose 21-14 to Georgia at home, and you follow that up with a loss to Mac Jones-led Alabama in Jordan Hare, okay, and you go 8-4 that way, I do not see how that isn't the nail in his coffin. And I don't care. You can have a national media guy say, "Oh, 8-4, they're wanting to fire him. He beat Oregon."
Yeah.
But again, it's when you're what is he now, 6-20,
yeah,
or whatever against our main rivals.
Right in there.
You just can't do that.
Yeah, I hear you. It's going to be an interesting situation if they were to lose to Alabama. You're right. I think it's going to get real hot real fast.
But the biggest thing is where's the identity? Where is the consistency as far as, okay, we're Auburn and this is what we do? It feels like, you look at this game, you look at the Florida game, look at the LSU game, it just looks like Gus is going out there with kind of let's see if this works. Oh, that didn't work too well. Let's try this. That didn't work too well. And there's no real identity. There's no excuse with the athletes we have on this team. There's no excuse with the personnel we have on defense and the performances we're having on defense to finish up at 8-4. And quite frankly, even with Mac Jones at quarterback, I do not have enough faith in this offense, not the defense, not the team, the offense, for us to generate enough points to beat any competent opponent.
Yeah.
And this is the major issue that there is. It's not sunshine pupper. It's not boom, boom. I'm pretty sure it's 98% of the fan base now that is reaching a point where it's like no one goes into a game feeling we're going to win the game if it's someone's a competent opponent. Yeah. We don't. If it's a similar style of talent, personnel, we feel automatically, oh man, I don't know how we're going to generate enough points, and that should never happen at Auburn. Period. So, agreed with what you said. The best case scenario is Gus leaves to Arkansas, but I think that there's going to be a hard decision that has to be made by the power brokers. And the problem is you have now reached a level of apathy. I don't consider myself a sunshine pumper. I'm not considering myself a doom and gloomer. I consider myself a realist. And realistically, I'm expecting us to be an underdog to a Tua-less Bama team. I'm expecting the same type of routine. We'll probably come out, maybe have a great opening drive, disappear for a quarter and a half in the second, halfway to the third, show some life. Defense will probably hold Alabama to their season low, like we do with everybody, and we'll probably lose by 7 points, 10 points. And then what we'll hear in the post game is we're close. Just a couple of breaks here and there.
It's not good enough.
Sorry, that's the difference. At the elite level, you're not going to blow everybody out. Okay, when you play LSU, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, we all are recruiting at a top 10, top 15 level. Okay, everybody's got athletes. You're not going to be 2 touchdowns better than these teams. The way you beat them is you beat them with scheme, you beat them with correct personnel decisions, and you beat them with a sound strategy. We have none of those. So now what we're getting the attaboy of, oh, man, we came real close to LSU, came real close to Florida, almost got Georgia, but that's not good enough here. It's just not.
Auburn alumni, good points, bro. And I appreciate your pragmatism for the whole thing. That's a good thing to have.
Thanks, bud.
All right, bro. See ya. I like the pragmatic approach. I do. I like to say, I don't necessarily, you're saying, well, I hate the doom and gloomers or whatever. Hey, you can say that. I don't necessarily I think the doom and gloomers have some points. I mean, they've been saying for a long time that they thought Gus was going to do this, and he's done it, and they were right. I do want to give a shout out to our folks who have been in the super chat. Love the Cats, I think went twice. Thank you very much for that, sir. Very awesome of you. He says Gus sucks. I know that you've had that opinion for a few weeks. Also, one from Blake Trotter. It says 2-10 against UG and Bama since 2014. Thank you for your support, Blake, of what we do here on the Brain Drain. Okay, so Auburn alumni, of course, one of our most pragmatic posters, but even he's kind of turned the tide a little bit, and yeah, I understand. I had a friend of ours, some folks who are good Auburn people want to get on the horn, and she'd been trying to call and hadn't been able to get through because we've got a lot of calls coming in, so I was going to give her a call and see if she had anything to say. I also want to get to, before we get too far, Stretch Armstrong, maybe Power Man. We got BMAT, obviously, Jay Lee. We got to check in with Jay Lee, of course. And Fig Jam's out there. Wouldn't mind hearing from him, too. I'm going to go ahead and give this gal a call and see if she has anything she wants to say. I would strongly suspect that she's probably lit, but I don't know that. Let's see what she has to say here. We're just going to see what she has to say. Oh, I like it when it rings. No, it's not Griffin.
Hello.
Hello, who I got on the horn?
Hello.
Who I got on the horn?
Oh, hey.
What's going on?
1458 crew.
Yeah, okay. Where are you located right now?
We're down in town, Lake Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, okay. And what was your handle? I forgot what you said it was.
What was it called?
Said the TL Mafia.
What?
1458.
1458 crew.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got you. Tell Johnny I can hear him, man. Golly. So what do you think about
Hey,
this?
man, I'm here.
Hey, what's going on,
What's up,
J-Dub? How you doing?
Hey, man, everything's wonderful except that damn ball game, bro.
Yeah, I know it sucked. But Troy game didn't suck, did it?
No, it didn't, my man. They opened up a can on them old boys, didn't they?
Yeah, Ryan Pugh and Davern and the whole Auburn crew down there, Chip Lindsey, doing a hell of a job down at Troy. They don't have any problem scoring points down there.
Nice offense, yeah, no doubt.
Your thoughts, sir, on the Georgia-Auburn game?
Oh, what a crap show.
Yeah, it was kind of a mess,
Come
wasn't it?
on.
I mean,
That was awful.
yeah. What part pissed you off the most, J-Dub?
And then I think the part that got me most fired up was the first half, bro. How can you be an offensive-minded coach and throw up a 0?
Well, I guess we saw it tonight, didn't we?
And I mean, I know the second half was okay, but that's all he has.
It looks that way.
Yeah, man. What you drinking tonight,
I'm
man?
drinking,
kind of late to the party. Tell me about your bourbon.
Well, tonight I decided to drink
Tonight.
some Old Granddad 114, as you know, is one of my favorites. I think you like it too, don't you?
Yeah, man. I can have me a pull or two of that. No problem.
A pull or two. I think I've had a pull or two with you on the Old Granddad. A couple other things too.
Ain't no doubt, brother.
But let me ask you this, J-Dub. So they obviously were terrible in the first three quarters offensively. They come back and they get the 2 touchdowns later. Had a chance, kind of. They were driving there late. Does that change your mind at all about things that they were able to rally in the fourth quarter? Does that matter?
No. He's terrible, and he's got to go. I mean, look, I think he got lucky at the end. That's really what I think.
As far as those 2 touchdowns?
Correct.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. I realized they kind of saved face, but I think that was more luck than skill.
Interesting. I think a lot of people agree with you, sir. My opinion.
At least the smart people do. You want to hear from another smart man on the block?
Who that?
Hey, man. He just wanted the 1458 crew. Here he is.
All right.
Hey, good evening.
What up?
So I got a question with the onside kick, great call, but what's with that, the blocking call that come back and took it away? I didn't know you could review blocking calls.
Yeah, I was surprised myself. I didn't think that was reviewable, and you know how the SEC is. They just kind of figure shit out on their own as they're moving along, but I did not think that was reviewable. I was surprised. And, I mean, it was a violation, but where was the review on the face mask on Bo Nix late in the game? I guess they didn't see that one. I don't know.
Absolutely, and that's the thing. That could have been a game changer there with that face mask. That'd have been an automatic first down, and got us that much closer to the goal. And
agreed.
And heck, even if we'd got 3 points in there, at least it would have been a little bit closer.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose on that, and I don't know what to tell you. SEC officiating is just kind of a toss-up, as you know.
Well, thank God we have the guys in Birmingham that know everything.
No, they get everything right on the review too, don't they?
Absolutely.
Hey, you guys keep it cool over there. And I'll see you guys next time I'm over, all right?
Hey, man. Peace out, brother.
See you, bro.
Come over.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, girl. My bad. Oh, yeah, the 1458 crew. War Eagle Bart says, why no review on holds? Yeah, they'd be busy doing that like all year long. You just can't even do that. Power Man says he's at the lake with kids. That doesn't sound great for talking on the horn. Yeah, so I was going to call, I think Stretch was my next guy. Doc texts in to say he'll be ready around 8:30. So there's something to look in for. I think this is Power Man right here. Let me see. No, I think that's Fig Jam. I get you guys mixed up in my phone, yo. Let's see if we can get Stretch on here. I like talking to Stretch. He knows the game pretty well. Let's give him a call. Sorry, guy. I know this is scintillating. I got to actually dial these numbers. All right, here we go. Lewis, I see you calling in. I'm taking this call from Stretch right now, or calling Stretch. I'll try to pick you up a little bit later in the show, bro. What up, Stretch?
Who you trying to call?
Hey, is this Stretch Armstrong?
This is him.
What up, bro?
No.
So what do you think about that one, man?
Man, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
I was going to answer the phone a little more, act like I was more drunk than I really am. It's but I couldn't. I'm not there yet.
You'd be like Ruxpin then.
Well, that's exactly. It's so damn frustrating. The game went exactly like I thought it was going to go. I think I told a couple of posters yesterday at lunch that we would lose 16-10, 17-10, or something like that.
It's pretty close.
So I mean, it's not exact, but it's about the game I thought I was going to see. But then when we got in the game, it was just so frustrating to watch. I don't know. I mean, you tell me. I mean, what did you see that was frustrating?
Well, I saw an offensive coordinator in the first half and into the third quarter who still didn't know what he was trying to do. I mean, I'm not trying to say he's clueless. I'm just saying I felt like he was almost like he was feeling around in the dark trying to find something that was going to work. And it's just weird that you're into the 10th game and you still have to kind of do that. I thought that was surprising. I'm not trying to shit on Gus about it. I'm just saying that's what surprised me.
I'm tired of Gus is good on the script because he is. But then when something goes wrong that's out of his control, we have to get a field goal and we miss it. But now we've wasted a bunch of script plays. Then we come back and we're all script and can't do anything because, let's be honest. I mean, we missed a field goal. We didn't convert on fourth down. We fumbled on their side of the field. This is not, to me, 100%. This is not really as much on Gus as I think everybody wants it to be. I think we had a decent game plan, not every series, but I think we had plenty of opportunities to score and did not pull it off. And then the second half, the third quarter was kind of weird. In the fourth quarter,
was even weirder.
I'm like, this is why we run pace. This is why Gus runs pace. Like, this is the whole point of the whole thing. Like, ever since they changed the substitution rule, Gus has gone into a shell because he keeps subbing, knowing the defense can sub. Well, you got to get a person, and we've heard this during 2 days in fall practice. You've got to put out a personnel that can finish a whole drive no matter what you want to run, and then pace it, and then we score. So, I mean, that's the whole deal.
And he does some of that. Like, situationally, you might see 2, 3, 4 plays like that, but you very rarely see a full drive. I don't know if we ever see a full drive like that anymore.
Right. And so, but since the substitution change, the rule changed, you've got to adapt and find, okay, I'm going to go with this personnel on this drive, and I'm going to pace them. And we're not doing that, but when we do it in the fourth quarter, we end up making drives and scoring points. So it's very frustrating just to sit there and watch and go, like, why don't we do this the whole damn game?
Yeah. My answer to that would be he's just feeling around in the dark trying to find stuff that's going to work. I mean, if you go at pace and you don't get anywhere, you're just hurting yourself, right?
Yeah, but I guess, I mean, you can't hurt yourself much more than you already are by not scoring and being 0 points going to the fourth quarter. I mean, we're 87, 88 minutes since the last time we scored on Georgia. It was the second quarter of last year.
Dude, and they ran like almost 90 plays tonight. They almost ran 90
84.
plays. Yeah,
84.
And they still only got 2 touchdowns.
We beat them in every statistic but the scoreboard. Like, how's that possible? And we only had 1 turnover. But, again, a missed field goal, you don't get it for fourth down on two different occasions.
3.
I think I already heard it on the show, but the being able to review the Schwartz blocking thing on the onside kick to me is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll say this. The Seth Williams overturn was the craziest call to me that I saw the whole day. I mean, the refs were not good, but I'm okay with going with whatever. If they would have called it incomplete, I'm okay with them upholding that was incomplete. But you cannot overturn the call from what we saw on video.
Yeah, I thought he was changing hands, and it kind of created at least the illusion that he didn't have complete control of that ball. That's kind of what I saw.
If he can switch hands and move it over, he got control. That's not the intent of the rule.
That was a big overturn. You're right.
That was a big overturn of a call on the field. So
yeah.
that one got me probably more than anything. I think Gus's. I mean, it's gonna be said it all day and every day, but the biggest Gus mess up was, why in the hell are you calling a timeout down 7-0 in a time where you can't score anything and move the ball at all? Why are you calling timeout with 1:30 left when they just want to go to halftime up 7-0?
Yeah, I think he thought that he would be able to preserve that to get another drive out of it, because he worried about, letting the quarter end like that and then them getting the ball to start the third. He thought that was going to be a problem. But you're right. He calls the timeout, then they get the first down, and they start rolling. And that it was almost like self-inflicted damage, right?
But they just wanted to get into halftime up 7-0, knowing they could not do anything against our defense. And we go in and say, hey, I tell you what, we're calling a timeout, and we want you to punt it to our team to where maybe at 40 seconds, 45 seconds, we may get the ball back. We think we may get some points on a defense we have done nothing against the whole first half. So I'm going to call a timeout. Then they go back, and so they run it. We call the timeout. They throw it to the sideline. McCurry gets a pass interference call, first down. They run it again. Or pass it. The passer ran then, but then they ran to the middle. Get some yardage.
Yeah, they ran that delay draw.
Got timeouts, and then they dump it down. They dump it down to the running back, and get a touchdown. I'm like, why? We played horrendously bad this first half. Let's get out of here up 7-0. If they want the clock to run out, let's let the clock run out. Let it run out. Let's go regroup and come back. Instead, we give them more momentum, kill the crowd, give them up 14-0 for no reason because they didn't want anything to do with that drive. But we gave them an opportunity. It was maddening.
It's another mistake, another costly mistake there. Or not necessarily a mistake, just a gamble that really blew up in their face. Absolutely.
And, okay, so now let's circle back around to why in the world – I mean, I think I have no problem. I like Harold Joyner a lot. I think he's a really good football player. I can't figure out why Gus only will let him play in key situations. And then such a horrible throw by Bo. I mean, it's not catchable. I don't care what anybody says. That ball is not catchable for a running back the way their shoulder pads are fit to reach back, sprinting one direction, and reach back across your body and try to stop and pivot on a pass that's coming from 5 yards away. I mean, it's unbelievable. I don't know how Wild Joyner's in at that point. He hasn't played the whole game, but the throw was horrendous.
Yeah, when I saw him go in, my wife was watching it with me. I said, why is Joyner coming into the game right now? I mean, because we all knew what was coming, right? More or less. It was going to be a throw to Joyner.
Is that or a wheel route?
Yeah,
wheel route?
Exactly.
The ball was going to Joyner.
There's no doubt about it.
1,000%.
No doubt about it. And the play was going to work nonetheless. And he just threw it behind him, and it just kind of went off his back shoulder. I'm with you. I don't think that was catchable for Joyner. Maybe like LaDainian Tomlinson catches that, but I mean, it's Harold Joyner.
Well, I don't think any running back catches it. Maybe like a few receivers could catch that because, again, if it's 15 yards downfield, you can adjust and turn from that distance. You can't just adjust and just make both hands go up. And then running backs have shoulder pads that are more restricting on their shoulders than a receiver because they're getting more direct contact.
Yeah.
So they can't get their arms up as fast as a Seth Williams or Will Hastings or Eli Stove or anybody else. They can't move their arms that quick because they're more tied down than a receiver.
Yeah.
So, I mean that's
a great point.
You don't even need that explanation, but it was just a bad throw from a very close distance.
Yeah, and he'd been so good. I mean, in the fourth quarter, he'd been making a lot of good throws, and that one just wasn't there.
That was a costly one. And then, I mean, I think I heard something earlier, and I don't know if this is right or not. Seth had 20 targets. I mean, that's
correct.
Crazy.
13 catches on 20 targets.
Okay, and then how many of them were in the middle of the field? 12 of them?
I mean, there were a bunch. Yeah, they threw a bunch of slants to him. That was basically the only thing that was working for a while.
But I loved it. I mean, I was like, okay, we haven't worked the middle of the field this much since, like, Cubs days.
Yeah,
I mean, it's been a long time since we actually felt confident about throwing it across the middle. So that was good. I was telling my 10-year-old, I said, okay, we're gonna go ahead here. We're gonna kick them the ball. We'll get the ball back around 2 minutes, so we'll use our timeout. Defense will stop them, and then we'll go from there. And then I said, on that last play of our offense, I said, no doubt Bo Nix gets sacked here. He was like, why would you say that? Hudson's like, we can get the first down. I was like, it's going to be a sack.
And that's what it was.
And then Bo gets sacked, and I looked at him and said, you do know a lot more than me. And I was like, I know at 10 you think you know a lot, but
yeah, Dad's been playing football for a while. Dad's played a lot of stuff.
Dad's done this a long time.
Yeah.
Dad's seen a lot of stuff and knows what's coming.
Stretch, we're going to wrap it up there, brother. You're a Hall of Famer in my mind.
That's it. I'm good. I got everything in I wanted to say, so roll on.
All right, Stretch. Appreciate you, bro.
Love you, JG.
See you, man.
Bye.
Stretch Armstrong, the guy who played the game for a number of years, and makes a great point about that catch that I didn't really think about. That it's really hard for a tailback. Yeah, because I'm saying somebody's going to try to catch the ball. I don't really distinguish in my mind. It's Joyner versus somebody like Schwartz or like Seth, who's probably going to be better at that. And then I didn't really think about how close that throw was. I mean, I knew it was close, but I didn't think about how that would affect your reaction time. I mean, they run that play. I bet you they've run that play 50 times in practice, and I bet you 49 times Bo puts it right there in his hands, and Joyner probably just completely expected it to go down that way. And it didn't. I want to give some time to our friends in the chat who have been over here chatting up a storm. Also, shout out to Love the Cats for the Super chat. Thank you, sir. I think that's your third of the day, which makes you a very achievement-oriented young man. Thank you. Let's see what we got here. Ed Darby says, stop kicking field goals. Look, Anders is now 4 of 10 from outside of 40, and he's perfect inside of 40. So maybe it's time to not have him kick over 40 yards anymore. I'm just throwing that out there. He must just be unbelievable in practice, and Gus keeps thinking that, it's going to click for him, and he's Daniel's brother, and everything's going to be fine. But yeah, he's not really getting it done so far. Let's see, I'm just looking for stuff here. AUTXM says, say it with me. Bill Clark nor Bob Stoops is coming to Auburn. Yeah, I get behind that. I've told you guys what I think is going to happen if Gus is to leave. It's going to be Kevin Steele. Damon says, Bill Clark would be an upgrade. It would likely be a case of Auburn falling uphill. Interesting idea. I do think a lot of the job Bill Clark's done at UAB. I mean, he's been good. F. Scott Fitzbeagle says Seth Luttrell from North Texas is a good coach. He is. Don't know if he's ready for this job. Maybe not. Some people banging on Gus. I understand. Lewis says Jimmy Rain wants Kevin Steele. That could be true. Ed Darby says we can't recruit receivers with this offense. I don't think that's true. Seth Williams is pretty good. Anthony Schwartz is pretty good. And Wee Willie's good for a former kicker. Matthew Hill's good. They haven't used him very much this year, but he's a good player. And he's going to be a good player. Yeah, so try to give you, those of you chatting, a lot of folks there. Chip's been with us the whole time. Sterling, of course, in the house. Cleve. JC23. Sean T. Last name redacted. I know you guys have been here for a while now. I know Jeff's in here somewhere. Love the Cats, of course. Golf Tiger. Good to see you guys. Part of the chat crew. JP Tiger 2009. What up, man? Sam H. Last name redacted. Good to have you here, bro. Thank you all for being part of the chat tonight. We'll take this call. No, hold on. Yeah, let's take this call. Hey, caller. How you doing? Thanks for calling in.
What's happening, JK?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
Just 1 minute here.
Hey, what up, man?
What's happening?
Yeah, people just kind of mad, and I understand.
Well, listen, let's repeat one thing. No offensive line. End of story. Can't run the ball. Gus, I think he needs his Ouija board. Even at halftime, we got to run the football, and he can't adapt. But put all that to the side. That's a known fact, and that's why we're very dysfunctional as a football team. And but look, here's the bigger problem, and it's a major problem. This contract has got Auburn in a whirl of hurt, and it's I don't believe Auburn's going to have the money to buy Gus Malzahn out. If you're looking from 10,000 feet, lose our offensive line. I think we could argue that we will not be as good as next year defensively or offensively. I would also say we've probably lost most of the majority of Auburn's fandom, alumni, people associated with the university are no longer believing. I think one of your callers had made a comment that it's become a point, I think it's even happened with me, that the optimism to win the big game is gone.
Yeah, it's been damaged for sure.
And here's our problem. I don't believe. I think Gus is going to be there next year.
Just because of the money?
You've got going into, now I tell you, Jay, think about this. You're going into big money. We would wish somebody would buy him out or pay Auburn some money, or we just shake hands and he goes on his way. I don't even know if Arkansas's got the type of money to pay him. So the problem is, and I felt this when you signed a 7-year deal, that, if this thing, most coaches are serviceable for just so long. There's a few out there, but Auburn wants to win championships. Our big bad comparison is on the other side of the state over there. And we got a big problem next year because there's not going to be the support. We've probably crossed over. I feel it. There's maybe more people, including the big money people, who are not going to support this, but we don't have the money to get him out of there. And so I think the Auburn people are going to have to accept it's going to get ugly. It's going to get nasty. And Gus is a good guy, but he gets paid the big money to win games. And unfortunately, I do think it's really going to affect recruiting now. And really is going to sports is momentum. It's momentum. That's what it is. So it was a little bit of the same thing. And but I tell you, he's here. If I was a betting man, Jay, he's going to be here next year. And maybe next year could be his last year. But think about that. Jay, what do we got at the end of this year? 5 more years? What do we have?
I think 4 or 5, and the buyout right now is going to be about $26 million. Next year it'll be more like $21 million, $20 million. Still a lot.
So the walking fans out there, alumni, need to understand that it's a business. It's money. Leaf did us. When you give somebody a 7-year deal with, I knew it, 7-year deal with 75% buyout money, we've got him. And that's the reality of it. And unless Arkansas wants him so bad and Auburn washes his hand and he moves on, I don't know. I just don't think he's going anywhere. And then one little quick note that I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
At halftime, and they said, they asked Gus, what do you got? We got to run the football. And you want to sit there and you're sitting there just as a rational, calm, if you want to look at him and say, Gus, you wanted to do that now the whole season. You don't have your line. You got to figure out what works. And anyway, it's a strange. I don't think the fella can adapt. I still say the same thing when I talked to you 2 weeks ago that, we've got. We had, what was that, the first sack at the end of the game? I think it was, wasn't it? I think it was the first sack.
He was pressured a bunch, yeah, but.
Yeah, he's pressured a bunch, but the real truth is, no running game at all, and put LSU to the side, put Georgia, super good football teams. Florida is a pretty good football team. They got a good defensive line. But the real truth is that, as I've said a couple weeks ago, I guess after Ole Miss, it's a talent situation. And the other thing is, you and I talked, and I do think he's gotten better. We mentioned we've got a freshman quarterback who, you know what, I think he's improved. I think he really showed some really great things, but quite honestly, that inconsistency of bad throws and he's young. He's going to be a great quarterback.
I think so too.
But we're going to be down next year. Everybody, whoever's listening here, you need to get real, because we're going to have a major downturn. In the SEC, it's the lines, the defensive line, the offensive line is the difference. And we're going to go back. So unfortunately, I think there's going to be a lot of pain for Auburn. And, you know, there's always a risk. I'll say this. If you're going to build championship, a business, it doesn't matter what it is, there are risks involved. And the risk is you have to weigh this. The risk is, well, if we let old Gus go and we win 7, 8, 9 games a year, but if we let him go, we could be Tennessee. You can't build Auburn has not had somebody 2 or 3 years and then fired him. This man's been there 7 years. So I don't think, unfortunately, the football program is going to be affected by some really poor decisions. Yeah. Hey, Jay, the average tenure for a football coach, major top 5 conferences, what could it be, 4 or 5 years?
That's what I was thinking, maximum? 5. Yeah.
And we give a man 7-year contract with a 75% payout. So we can be upset. And if you really think about it, the game went exactly, for the most part, like Florida and LSU. And it is what it is. But I think we need to be prepared. Next year's going to be ugly. And unfortunately, I think it's money. And, you know, people generally talk, oh, man, the big guns need to come out and this. Well, they just said, let's think about this. I just saw the biggest, athletic gift was $10 million from an alumni. I think I just read that.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Jay?
Just happened today.
Impressive.
Just today.
Okay, so that's the biggest gift, and we're talking about, what'd you say, how much, 20, what was it, 20?
I don't remember.
Million?
It was
whatever, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And there's just not people walking around writing $500,000, $1 million checks. I mean, they're just not. So the thing I think I'm most disturbed about is that, I will say this, the players do play for Gus.
You got to wrap it up.
Out there.
I need you to wrap it up just 1 minute because it's getting a little long. You're doing a hell of a job.
We'll do it. Okay. All righty. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. I know you got some guys you want to call.
Yes, sir.
And thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate you, bro. Be good.
See ya. All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Gonzalez, you cracked me up with that one. I think you said, like, hold on, where is it? Because his name was just 1 minute, and you were like, just 10 minutes. It's kind of funny. Yeah, he's being earnest. I like that guy. When you start talking about Tennessee, I lost it a little bit, but that's okay. BMAT. We got to get BMAT on the horn. BMAT is now available, and I love talking to BMAT, and you guys know what time it is with BMAT. He's not going to be in a great mood. I just want to get you guys prepared for that. Those of you who don't know BMAT, oh, dang. It's not what I wanted to do there. Sorry. I think I was calling Stretch Armstrong back. Sorry, bro, if I did that. All right, let's get B-Man on the horn.
What is up?
What up, B-Matt?
Walking out Jordan Hare Stadium.
That's a wrap, huh?
Do what?
That's a wrap, huh?
Yep. Tough one for the Tigers tonight.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts, man?
Well, first of all, as I'm watching the game for the first 3 quarters, I'm thinking that question you had about him being too cute was so freaking on point last Tuesday. I mean, spot freaking on, because his offense looked like it looked pretty clueless, to be honest. You know, I mean, I like that they tried to do the short passes, the screens, and the slants, but I don't think that was sustainable for, you know, a 10 or 12 play drive, whatever it would take, because, you know, they're only hitting them for 5, 6, 7, 8 yards. You know, it's not like they were busting them for big plays. And once again, could not run the ball at all. Just looked pathetic on offense, I thought, for the first 3 quarters. Then they switched to the 2-minute offense. That's what Bo Nix does best. So what he did in high school, and boom, what do you know? 158 yards, go up and down the field twice, almost through the third time. Hold on. Loud car.
Yeah, are you like
and nearly, you know, put together one of the best comebacks in Auburn history. And just fell up short there. I thought that pass to Harold Joyner was just a little bit behind him. If it's a foot or two, you know, in front of him a little bit more, then he may truck it down the sideline for who knows how long. So that was tough. That was a tough loss. You could tell the team and the players took it really, really hard afterwards. Credit to the defense. I know they gave up some drives there and the big play, the 50-yard pass. But, you know, in that fourth quarter at the game line, they forced 3 straight 3-and-outs, and that allowed Auburn to make those plays.
I didn't get a chance to listen to the postgame, but a lot of folks on here were saying that he said the offense is a work in progress. Did he say that?
I don't remember him saying that specifically, but he was asked about the 2-minute offense. He bumbled through that, so to speak, didn't give a straight answer. Basically was asked, you know, should you have gone to the 2-minute offense earlier? The answer was unequivocally a yes, but he didn't really answer that. Then he was asked a little bit later. And first of all, I got to give Jason Caldwell credit. He's been talking about this for quite a while, and it's been spot on. It's what this team can do. It cannot be a run play action team. It doesn't run the ball well enough to do that, but it can spread the ball out. It can run that 2-minute thing that Nick does well, and that can open up the running game. It should be a pass run action team. I know that's not a real word, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But he was asked, is this team still a run play action team? And he sort of kind of admitted, I put both those quotes in my story, that, you know, maybe it's not, you know, kind of. He didn't really come out and say it, but, you know, why does it take 10 games to figure this out? You know, why does it take 10 games to figure out that you're not a run play action team, and you keep saying it over and over again? This team is not a run play action team. There's never been one, unless you're lining up against, you know, Sanford next week or some other crummy defense that can't stop you.
Okay, so the bottom line here is he's trying to force this team to be what he wants it to be, even though it's not what he wants it to be. Is that fair?
I think so for the most part. I mean, I think we've sort of talked about this all season, you know, how his offense can't do what he wants it to do, and it doesn't work effectively when he can't run the ball because he doesn't know any other way, and there is a way. It's the 2-minute offense, and if he would just accept it and do more of it, this team might have a chance to win its last 2 games, you know? I mean, Bo Nix threw 50 passes, didn't throw an interception. That's pretty good for a true freshman playing against Georgia.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He wasn't perfect, but 30 of 50 is pretty dang good.
Hey, are you walking right now, or what's up?
Yeah, I'm walking from Jordan Hare to my car right now.
That's good, though, because some people were asking, you sound a little winded, but.
Yeah, well, the wind is blowing, and there's cars, people all over the place still. So, yeah, I guess I am a little winded. I still try to walk up and down the stairs, and that's about 6 flights, and double wide in the sky. So that does give me a little winded. And plus, I've taken a little step back and the kind of shape I am after the surgery a little bit.
Yeah,
so
you guys.
We're going way back.
You guys in the chat, remember he was out because of the gallbladder surgery, and now you're hitting him where it hurts. That ain't right.
Yeah, man. Come on. Give this old man a break.
Show him some love. All right, so situation with Gus from your perspective, what do you think is going to happen here? I mean, I don't know if Auburn can really fire him. I don't know if he wants to go to Arkansas or if Arkansas would take him, or what do you think is going to happen here?
That's the thing. I think that's still a possibility. But everybody has to be on the same page for that to happen. Gus has to want it, Auburn has to want it, and Arkansas has to want it. And there's probably enough people at Auburn that want it, right?
I
don't know that Gus would definitely want it. He might if he felt enough people were trying to push him out. And I'm not 100% sure that Arkansas is going to want it, you know? I don't know. And the other thing is I still think this team could beat Alabama. I don't think Alabama's that good, and they just lost. I guess I think I saw that Tua's out for the year now. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not reporting that, but I know I saw that on Twitter. So, and Alabama's defense is not close to as good as Georgia's, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's a team that Auburn could potentially beat at home. So then you're talking about, what would that be, 8-3? Is that right?
8-4. Have they lost? No, they're 7-3 right now.
9-3. It'd be 9-3, wouldn't it?
You'd be 9-3.
They beat Alabama, yeah. So, you know, that's pretty solid season, I guess.
Yeah, I know, but it would still be a very weird. I know, but they still would have lost to Florida, LSU, Georgia at home.
Yep.
Like the whole thing at this point was.
Not good, yeah.
The whole thing at this point was
against the big 3 rivals, which is not good.
Yeah. I just felt like the big defense to this point was, well, Bo had troubles on the road. And then today, I wouldn't necessarily say Bo had troubles, although he had a big fumble, but it just didn't get it done at home.
Well, you know, I was really close doing this tweet right at the start of the fourth quarter. I almost did. I had it loaded into the little, box, and I was like, I better wait just in case. And basically it said the last time Auburn was shut out at home was in November of 2012 to Georgia.
Oh.
The last time Auburn was shut out was 2 weeks later at Alabama. And then the next day, Gene Chizik was fired. So that was the timeline 7 years ago. I'm not suggesting that's going to happen again. Of course, Auburn was not shut out today, and I'm now glad I didn't put that tweet out there because it was really dumb. But still, that's how close I think it was to Armageddon, so to speak. I mean, I know Auburn still lost, but they did rally and come back and fought and got those points, and that does make a little bit of difference to the way I view this game now.
Fair enough. What do you think he's going to be like tomorrow? You think he's going to say sorry or whatever? He's done that before. I just don't know if he'll do that again.
You think he's going to do what? I'm sorry to hear that.
If he's going to say sorry or whatever, like, I know we've let everybody down or whatever. I mean, sometimes he's kind of had that attitude. Usually he'll just say, we got to keep fighting or whatever.
He was clearly frustrated tonight. I mean, he had 2 weeks to get this team ready, and what he came up with did not work at all. So that's on him. They switched to the 2-minute, which is something they do, every day in practice going back to August, right? It's not some newfangled, set of plays he came up for this game. It's just this 2-minute offense. So he needs to go to work on that and make it better and keep expanding on it, because that's the way to go, I think, with Bo and this offense the rest of the way this year. But I'm not sure what to expect out of Gus. I think he talks to Allen, and Allen humbles him and gets him to be more, open and apologetic. I think it's really hard for him to be that way right after a game.
Well, no, he's out there trying to win. I mean, I get it.
Yep. He's super competitive. Yep.
All right, B-Matt, you did a hell of a job, as usual.
I appreciate that, my man. How's the call-in show going so far?
Good. I mean, we've had a bunch of callers, and we had some people drone on a little bit longer maybe than we thought, but everybody's been pretty passionate, and no one's called Gus a bad name yet.
Yeah, I saw some very passionate people on Twitter in my mentions, so I understand completely.
All right, Moreau. You be good.
All right, take care.
See you, man. I got a visitor here. Come here, buddy. Look who I got, yo. Hey, Sammy. Say what's up there, buddy, yo. Sammy. Want to say hello? What do you think about Gus? Well, you say no? You don't like Gustav? What do you think about all this? Huh? All right, Sammy, I'll let you go, bro. You good kitty. That's my kitty. Sammy Cat. Sammy Cat told me, definitely by the time they lost to Florida, he said he wanted Gus out. But I was like, dude, you can't be like that. We'll take this call. I know Lewis has been trying to get in, see what's going on. What's up, Lewis? How you doing?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Word.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it quick because you've had some real sloth on the show so far.
No, I don't agree with
that. First off, I'm in my backyard, and it's really windy, and I decided to light the fire pit, and I have a feeling that may have been a mistake. So I'm going to keep this quick so I can get back to it.
Hey, I was disappointed to learn that you don't actually have the tub going anymore. That's like a farce.
No, it's been gone. I said that a long time ago.
Well, I was still living in that past, man. I'm sorry.
No, it rotted out, and it was just too much to fix it.
Yeah. Okay.
So, first point, I said I was going to hold judgment on Gus till the end of the season. I've actually really been behind him most of the season. Today, that's done. I'm ready to move on. The only reason we scored late is because they went into prevent, and when Georgia came back off of zone coverage and went back to man on man, we struggled. And then the biggest thing that I think screwed us up is we're expecting to have Bo Nix go 10-plus plays to move the ball down the field and score. That's a disaster. Boy, this fire's getting big. I may have to run.
All right. You be good, Lucy. I don't want you to be in danger, man. All right, I guess that's it for Lewis. He warned us ahead of time that he might have a issue going on with his fire, and I guess that's exactly what happened. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Damn, JGT, I've been calling for so long.
Dude, I'm so glad to have you. I'm glad. Man. I'm glad you got through. Who I got on the horn?
This is Jaybird 876, my man.
What up, bro?
I called you last time. I was rolling up from from Gainesville to Jacksonville in an Uber. Now I'm back at my home in Nashville.
Yeah.
After I just watched this debauchery once again of Gus Malzahn.
It's upsetting.
I just don't know what to think.
Well, I understand where you stand. I understand that. It's frustrating.
Everyone tells me I've been radicalized. I shouldn't want to fire Gus, but at this point, I mean, how worse could we be?
Well, hold on. I mean, I've seen Auburn a lot worse than this.
No, I agree. But what if Kevin Steele did take over? Like, offensively, how much worse could we seriously be besides run up the middle, run left, and run right?
Yeah. I get where you're coming from. I mean, I just don't know who he would hire and what that person would want to do, and I don't know. But Kevin's been really good.
I get it'd be an expensive hire, but I mean, like, $7 million for offense of 14 points when we decided to run hurry up, no huddle. It's almost like his license plate or something has that on the back of it, and he rides around in Auburn in that fucking BMW. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Didn't mean to.
It's okay.
In that dadgum BMW. Sorry.
It makes me laugh, though. Oh, it's almost like he wrote a book about it, right?
Yeah, it's almost like he wrote the book. Yeah, you're right, Jay. It's almost like he wrote a book.
I know. I bang on him about that constantly to the point where I think it pisses him off. But, I mean, it's a true fact, right? I mean, he wrote a book about moving fast, and then when they started moving fast today, they started scoring.
Weird. I know. 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter when we needed it. Strange.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to start in on him again tomorrow.
What? I mean, seriously, if we lose to a Tualist Alabama, where are we?
It could happen.
Just answer me that.
I mean, it could happen. That could happen.
It could very well happen, Jay. It could be a very high possibility.
Where are you then? Well, at that point, he needs to go one way or the other. I mean, whether he goes to the unemployment line or he goes to Arkansas if they'll take him, or I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about. So what is the deal we could broker, and or what is the language in that contract? How can we fire with cause is what I'm asking. How can we avoid $26 million?
Yeah.
You know it's out there somewhere.
There was some thought this time last year that there would be a way to do that, and I think ultimately they felt like that wasn't going to be doable. And I still believe that he was within a hair of getting fired last year. And
I agree.
I think we're headed down that road this year too. But maybe he can go to Arkansas. I don't know. If he can go somewhere and reset his clock, so to speak, I think that would be a smart move. But I've told you guys all along, I don't think it's money that motivates that guy.
I don't think it is either.
I don't know what it is.
I can tell you where we pulled him out of. I can tell you what, trailer park in Springdale, Arkansas he came from. Yeah, he's in a lot higher territory than he was then, and I feel like we could put him back where he came from.
Oh, Jaybird. I appreciate you calling, though, bro. I know you're a little bit bitter. You just kind of reached the end of your rope.
You know where he came, JGT, you know where he came from. We put him back.
Springdale, Arkansas. Yes, sir. I've been there.
Trailer park in Arkansas.
Oh, goodness gracious. All right, bro. That's it for Jaybird. He had me laughing there for a minute. Ooh, we got a call coming in from the 201. I don't recognize that number. Hey, caller, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, Jay, what's going on? How are you?
What up? Who I got on the horn?
You got Steve from Boston.
Hey, okay. I didn't recognize your area code, so.
Yeah, 201. I called my wife's phone, but all good. You know what? Everybody's giving Gus so much flack, but Bo has to execute there. I mean, he had that. He fumbled the ball before the half. He's got to do better there. And then, that play to Jordan at the end of the game, he's got to throw a better pass there. I mean, you can't just keep throwing this on Gus. You have to, put Bo accountable for this.
Well, you got to hold him accountable for that throw. You're right. He messed that throw up, and he fumbled earlier in the game. You got to hold him accountable. That's not Gus's fault. But a lot of the other things that were going on in the first half were Gus's fault. They were just fumbling around in the dark looking for something the whole first half.
Jay, everyone keeps hammering on that point, but you have to execute. It comes down to that. It seems in any level of football, you have to execute. And the defense did what they could do tonight, but Bo has to execute. And I don't know if Joey was still there. Things are different, but you have to execute when you're at this point. And you're now 10, 11 games into the season, 10 games into the season now. He has to do better, and especially at home tonight against Georgia, he's got to do better.
Well, I think you have a point. I really do. I just think if he threw 50 balls tonight, which I think is way too many for him, and you're going to
agree. You can't go 30 or 50 in the SEC and win a game. That's just not going to happen.
Probably not. No. And they're supposed to be a running team, if you remember. Gus has talked all year, and even as early as this afternoon. At halftime, got to run a football better.
I mean, how Bo was the leading rusher tonight. I don't get how. I think DJ had 8 carries for DJ, and Booby had 11. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was somewhere along those lines.
Hold on. DJ had 8 carries for 26. Booby had 11 carries for 23, and then Bo had 13 for 42.
Yeah, you can't win. You can't win doing that. I don't know if there's a lot of zone reads or a lot of RPOs, however you want to. I don't have the obviously specifics in front of me because I'm not a football guy, but DJ has to touch the ball more, and it just didn't happen. I felt like it was too late. It was just too little, too late. But I don't know. Again, I'll break the tape down, tomorrow to see what was going on, but. I don't know. You can't put it all on Gus. You just can't do it.
All right.
That's what I have to say. Is everyone calling and saying it's all on Gus? You can't put it all on him. I know he's getting $7 million a year, and the buyout's what it is, but we have to stop that talk. You just have to. We have to get ready for Stanford next week and obviously Alabama. We can't be saying we're firing this guy, though, because no one's ponying up the money for it. It's just not going to happen.
Hey, you said you're not a football guy. Are you with Bruce Pearl? Is that kind of what your thing is?
Well, no. I don't know if the X's and O's is as good as football guys do.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I'm ready for basketball season now.
Hell yeah! I mean, it's going already. So, and they're kicking ass.
We're 3-0 or 4-0, whatever it is at this point. So,
anyway,
we're getting there. So,
appreciate you calling in, bro.
Good night, all right. Keep doing what you're doing because you have what you're doing with the site and the podcast. I love it, and especially being an Auburn guy in Massachusetts, it's very tough, but I enjoy listening to all your stuff.
All right, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good night.
See ya. Some decent points there, honestly. I mean, he's saying that Bo's got to execute, and and it's true. I mean, Bo's got to make that late throw to Joyner. He's got to give Joyner a chance to win that catch, and he didn't do it. That's a fair point. Let's take this call from the 804. What's going on, caller? How you doing?
Hey, I was calling Steve from Boston. What is he talking about?
What's he talking about? The execution?
It's ridiculous.
What part of it is ridiculous?
Like Gus is not in fault at all this kind of stuff. It's pretty come on, man.
Who I got on the horn right here?
This is Virginia Tiger back again.
Oh yeah, okay.
From the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I remember.
I've been listening the whole time, and I just think I'm discouraged about how anybody can give Gus a pass. Like that's not good.
Because
we're trying to move forward on this point.
Yeah.
Because honestly, like the defense of the season and this game has been phenomenal. And if Gus is our offensive coach, then how is he not the guy that we all look at to say, why can't we score more points?
I don't think that Gus got to be held responsible, obviously, and he's going to be. But it is true that Bo, it's not Gus's fault that Bo fumbles there on that play. It's not Gus's fault that Bo.
Oh, that's early in the game. That's what 10 minutes into the game. Like he can overcome that. That's not the Bo fumble is nothing. I discount that 100%. I hope you should too.
No, I think that was a pretty big play of the game, and then he missed the throw to Joyner.
Oh, come on!
But I'm not.
Come on now.
I know people
say
that
big play?
People say that I'm a Bo apologist, and I guess I kind of am in the sense that he's just too young to be this guy. Like 50 passes in a game against Georgia, it's ridiculous.
No, I'm not. I don't discount that at all.
Okay.
For sure, you're exactly right. That the 50 passes on a freshman quarterback is not, the burden we want. But the fumble in what was that, first quarter? I feel like
it was late. It was like
second, maybe at the most.
It was 5 or 6 minutes left in the second quarter, so it was kind of late in the second quarter.
I mean that is like, we forget about that the whole game. Like everything after that, like nothing that Bo did up to that point and in that fumble itself affected that game. Honestly,
all right.
Like it could have gone. Like we could have definitely got momentum for sure.
Yeah, they had it going.
Let's talk about that. Like Auburn could have run away with the game if, we could score there and, so on and so forth. But everything from that, the Bo fumble on, nothing made Auburn lose, so to speak.
Yeah, I hear you.
I don't know if that makes sense, but what I'm saying is, like, the Bo fumble was not a top 10 play in that game. Overall.
Right. Fair enough. All right, Virginia Tiger. Hey, if you hear anything else that gets you rustled, holler back at me. I'll be here.
No, I appreciate it. I'm listening.
All right, bro. See ya.
All right, man.
Virginia Tiger calling back. It's good stuff. People are fired up, man. I understand it. Let's take this call from the 205. What's going on, caller? How you doing? Oh, did I miss you? Damn. Got another one. Hey, caller. How you doing? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Jay. How are you?
What up? Who I got?
Power Man.
Hey, what up, man?
Oh, nothing. Got the kids to bed.
I was aiming to get up with you earlier, but I just kind of got hung up on some other shit.
Yeah. All good.
We're having we're in the middle of we're in the middle of a problem here. We got to get this solved. I mean, is Bo responsible for any of what happened tonight or not?
Of course he is. He's a starting quarterback. So yeah, he's responsible. He's not solely responsible. He missed some throws. He had a fumble. And I put it in. I think it was our Thomas I was talking with. He kind of reminds me of my golf game. Is that I'll hit some good shots, but I can't string enough of them together to where I can score well. Yeah. Bo can't do a 12-yard 80-play drive or a 12-play 80-yard drive for a touchdown because he can't string enough good plays together. He's gonna miss Seth on the screen high and cause a negative play, or do the joiner throw. It's just inconsistency, and it's typically an accuracy problem.
I'm glad you noted that screenplay because that was Bo's fault. This is the 4th and 3, the screenplay to Seth that got blown up. If he throws that ball in front of Seth so that Seth can keep his inertia going forward, I think he gets that first down, or at least he's challenging for it. Instead, it goes for a loss because the pass was.
And if we don't get it, we're going again.
That's true. Yeah.
You just couldn't have a negative play. But the interesting thing to me was coming off the bye week, the thing that Gus changed was putting 42. I can't think of his name. The wrinkle, the new thing was to put him in the slot on the trip side, put him in the slot so that he was the blocker on the RPO out wide. Like that's the only new thing I saw. And that's how they were going to get the ball on the perimeter.
True. I was surprised to see JJ out there as much as I did. Yeah.
We threw him a fade. We threw JJ a fade.
Kind of, yeah. It's a strange call. I don't know what they see in him. Like, I like J.J. Wilson, and he's been good when they throw the ball to him, but he's split out wide just way too damn
much.
Not
really his game.
No.
Right. He was out wide, and I think it was to be the blocker on the RPO. So when they threw it to whoever the wide guy was, when Bo would keep, I think that was so J.J. could block. I think he was a split-out fullback is what I think the whole plan was.
And some successes maybe, not too many. Although the slants were there tonight, Power Man. They actually hit a bunch of slants, worked the middle of the field like hell.
Yeah, that was really good. But the Gus kryptonite is when a team does not have to commit safeties to the run. They can stop the run with just the front seven and then play man under with two deep safeties. And that's why the slants were there, is because the safeties were back. And credit to Gus and Bo for taking advantage of it. But there again, we have to have big plays. We can't go 12 plays and score a touchdown. So the slants are fine. They're good. They're positive plays, but it's what the defense has given us because the safeties are back.
What do you think is going to happen with Gus? Ultimately, 2 months from now, who's going to be the coach at Auburn?
Probably Gus, just because it's so expensive. But Jay, I have not had an irrational bunker hatred of Gus. But after the timeout today, I got one because that was just so black hole stupid, arrogant to do that, to call that timeout when they had 2nd and 5. And at best, you're going to get the ball. If you hold them on 3rd down, you're going to get, which you got to hold them again because that was 2nd down. He called it after 1st down, 2nd and 5. So they get the timeout, and he's got to hold them 2 more plays, and then he's going to get the ball on his own 30 with an offense that hadn't done anything, and that's what he's hoping for. And it's lunacy, and it's an arrogance, and it's a lack of self-awareness. It's just like it was idiotic not to try to get to the half to make adjustments. He thought he could still score.
Well, he lives in his own mind, right?
Yep. I mean, it was just, I don't know. That was real dumb. But anyway, you guys have a great show, and thanks for taking my call.
All right. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, buddy. Talk to you later.
Bye. Somebody, I think it was Fig Jam, was telling me, yeah, you're not going to be able to make it tonight. It happens. Let's see. I'm going to give Doc Dumpster a call. What do you think? Or Hootie. Sometimes it's hard to kind of distinguish those two from each other. Let me see if we can get Doc on here. I guess still got a lot of calls coming in. I'm sorry I haven't been able to get everybody's call tonight. All right, let's see what we can do here. See if we can do some damage with Mr. Dumpster. I don't understand why sometimes y'all hear the ring and sometimes you don't. Hey, who I got here?
Hello.
What's going on?
Hey, buddy, what's going on, Cat Daddy? What's going on?
How you doing, Doc?
I'm going to tell you what, Doc is doing pretty dadgum good. How you doing, JZGZT?
Oh, yeah, we're doing all right on here. Actually, people have been pretty rational, I think. I mean, they're pissed, but
I was listening to the first probably 45 minutes. I got sidetracked. You used the word, did you pull out the word pragmatism?
Yes, sir, I sure did.
Would you mind, by the way, I watched the game at Hootie's house. Obviously, we're trying to get you. I just talked to Hootie. He's trying to get on the drain, which we need to get him on. Hootie and I were trying to figure out what the hell does pragmatism mean?
It just means level-headed, Doc. I bet you knew that.
Oh, okay. Got it. It means 50-50, regular. I got it.
It's winnable, losable.
Yeah, listen. Winnable, losable. Hey, that game tonight was definitely winnable, losable. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, it was. Surprised that they were able to come back, dude. I thought they were absolutely done at the end of the 3rd quarter, and then they played better in the 4th, but
yeah, I don't know. I listened to the beginning of the show. I guess I'm a little surprised. People say they're talking about our offense. I'm one of those guys. I think our offense has been terrible all year. I had us losing 19-6, but I thought I just thought the gods of karma would help us today. I will say this though. I don't know how many people have talked about our offense, but how about the freaking defense? Doc Dumpster is not one to just give a lot of praise to anybody. I don't care if we sign a 4-star, 3-star, 2-star, 5-star. I want to see him before I do that stuff. This defense is freaking fun to watch, and they're probably You've covered Auburn for how long? 34. I mean, where do they rate in your rating Auburn?
This defense?
Yes.
Wow. The 04 defense was really dirty, but it's right there with them as far as the ones that I've seen. It's
but
a
now,
tremendous.
Was the 04 defense seeing the passing schemes that we see in 19?
Yeah,
I know the 04 defense was nasty as hell, but I don't know if they were seeing the schemes we're seeing 15 years later.
Yeah, it's a different game, isn't it, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, the defense. I mean, it is. You think about our defense, okay? They play on a team with an offense that, in my opinion, is just absolutely deplorable. Okay, they go out there and they bust their ass every play. It's just fun to watch the defense. So, but a tough loss tonight. Like I said, Georgia's not very good offensively either.
That's right.
I thought the comeback was great. I mean, I was hoping, we could pull it off. But it's tough. I thought Auburn Alumni was a great call. I thought Stretch Armstrong brought up a freaking sweet-ass point. The timeout before the half was just tough to take. What else is on your mind, though, bro? What is everybody else talking about?
Well, we're also talking about what's going to happen with Gus. Is he going to be the coach here next year? Does he go to Arkansas? Does he get fired? Is everybody okay with this?
Well, let's talk about Arkansas a minute. Now, you're an insider. You kind of know what's going on, okay? Do you think Arkansas wants Gus Malzahn? I mean, nobody's ever asked that question. It just keeps. I mean, do you think when they go into their meetings, do they think is Gus Malzahn one of their top 2 or 3 guys?
I think so. Yeah. Now I understand. An Auburn person looks at this and says, "Are you serious? Somebody would want him to do what he's doing at Auburn." But I think at Arkansas, the expectations are lower. My opinion.
Oh no! I totally agree. But I'm just saying, I think 2 years ago, 3 years ago, he was their top 1-2 guy. I just don't know that. I don't know that he's that guy now. Now you know probably more than I know. I get my information from Bo is great. I think he was up. I think Bo watched the game from A.D. Green's booth tonight. But I don't think Auburn fires Gus. I think we'll end up 8-4, even though Tuscaloosa has lost their quarterback. We can't score. So, I mean, I'm watching Ole Miss LSU right now. Ole Miss has got 30-something points, with 12 minutes in the game. We can only score 20 against LSU. But I think 8-4, I think he keeps his job. Now, your odds of what do you think his odds are of keeping his job?
At 8-4?
Yeah.
25%. I thought he was fired last year, Doc. I really did. I still to this day don't understand how he got out of that, and I joke with him about it, and he jokes with me about it now because I called him Houdini on a radio show, and he still can't believe I called it.
I thought last year he might get fired. I just, he's played a tough schedule. Here's what I think, honestly, JGT. If A.D. Green watches our games, somebody has to ask him, is there an offensive game plan moving forward? Okay? This offense, like I said, I've been very, very clear with this. I think it's horrible. Okay, is there something that A.D. Green could say? Is there something that we could change next year? Okay, I don't think the offensive line is as big a problem as a lot of bunker members do. I don't think they're very good, but I don't think they're very bad. So, but can we talk? Would you mind if we kind of change subjects to basketball for a couple of seconds?
I love basketball. Yeah, hell yeah, I love basketball. Tell me anything you want to know.
Let me tell you something, dude. This basketball team, the team we played last night was that was horrible. And I have no idea if our basketball team's any good, but dude, they are so freaking fun to watch. I mean, how much of a blast is it to just watch them play?
Yeah, last night was kind of a weird game. It felt like an NBA All-Star game. There was just no defense, and if anybody that wants to try to run the court with Auburn, they're going to lose if you're just going to do it that way.
Oh yeah, it was fun to watch. And let me go back to Phil real quick because I went up to Birmingham today to watch the game with Hootie. Hootie's trying to call in. I think I texted you his number. He really wants to get on the brain drain. I just talked to him. What Hootie and I thought was hilarious about the game was we got J.J. Wilson wide out throwing him freaking fade patterns
over and over again, right?
Yeah. Now J.J. Wilson at Arizona State was a linebacker at one point. Okay. Well, all of a sudden he transfers to Auburn, and we're throwing him fade pattern. I mean, can you imagine Takeo Spikes transferring to South Carolina and then throwing him fade pattern? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it's too. They think he's a great receiver of the ball, but I mean, 20 snaps out wide.
He can catch, yeah, but I mean, do you put him wide out and let a cornerback guard him? I mean, Hootie and I just kept saying, what is he doing? It made no sense. So. Offensively, and again, like I said, we're going to play Tuscaloosa, and I know Tuscaloosa apparently lost a quarterback. Let me tell you something. Tuscaloosa could start Ronnie Millsap at quarterback, and they'll beat us probably because I don't know that we can score. Their defense is not as good as Georgia, but our offense is just so piss poor.
Yeah,
and I don't know that. Now, what did you think of Bo tonight, honestly?
Well, they asked a lot of him. I mean, he goes 30 of 50 throws, right. 30 of 50. And no picks.
I think when I watch the film, I think I'm going to say Bo Nix played pretty decent. Like I said, Hootie and I talked. We said, hey, he can't. If he plays bad, we lose. If he plays average, we got a chance to win. I think he was average. I think I don't think he had an interception.
No, he did not. No interceptions. Just had the one fumble and missed the throw to Joyner, but did a lot of good things. A lot of good things too.
Yeah. Now listen. Let me tell you something. If Bo Nix throws 50 passes against probably the best defense in the SEC, I'd say Georgia or Auburn has the best defense in the SEC, and he doesn't throw a pick, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, let's admit that's not bad at all. And the Joyner thing, Stretch and I've gone back and forth. First of all, I don't know why Joyner's in the game, but second of all, some people, in my opinion, do catch that pass. When Hootie and I are watching the game, basically, and Hootie makes the point, hey, this is Georgia, Auburn. This isn't freaking Santa Clara versus Faulkner. Okay,
yeah.
You've got to try to catch that pass. But like I said, it was a terrible pass, horrible pass. But it would have been nice to catch it.
Yeah, it would have been real nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know what? We are what I hate it. I just hate it that we struggle so much offensively. I think it'd be great in terms of Gus if it was easy enough to do what Ed Orgeron did, saying, "Hey, Gus, we're going to let you bring in whoever the top 3 offensive minds are," but that's not going to work with Gus because Gus thinks his system's good.
Yeah, he does.
Gus thinks he's a good offensive coach.
He does.
I could show him the Tulane game. I could show him the Florida game. I can show him the Ole Miss game. And he's just not a very good offensive coach, and we struggle with that.
Well, yeah. I honestly think he thought he was on the verge of a breakthrough tonight. But
well, let me tell you something. Yeah, I don't know what game you watched, but I watched the first 3 quarters. Hey, if that was a freaking breakthrough, I'm freaking Danny DeVito, okay? That wasn't even close to a freaking breakthrough. That was a horrible first 3 quarters. And in the fourth quarter, I think Lewis might have mentioned it, I don't know if we got those yards because they were in prevent. I don't know what happened. I mean, hopefully it was us being good. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. We love Auburn. We love Auburn, and hopefully we'll. If pragmatism means we're all okay, hopefully the Doc and everybody else is pragmatistic.
Yeah, definitely.
But, hey, by the way, is pragmatistic a word?
Hell yeah, it is. We just made it one.
Well, listen. Call Hootie or take Hootie's call. I'm giving you his number because Hootie and I watched that game right next to each other. Dude, let me tell you about freaking Hootie's new hizzy. Oh my God!
Wow.
He's got this thing called freaking dyslexia or Alexia.
Yeah.
And you sit there and say, "Honey, turn on the lights." Dude, the whole freaking house lights up. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course. Everybody has that. You don't have that?
No, I don't. Hey, JGT, at my house, you need a bunch of charcoal and some gas lighter fluid to get the lights to come on, dog. Dude, so you're saying freaking everybody has this dyslexia chick?
Hell yeah, man. I feel like she's my second wife.
Oh, my God dang. Okay, well, then, I probably need to learn from you guys.
Yeah, I think
Does it cost any money for it? Does it just come with like a cell phone bill?
Yeah, it costs a little bit of money, but she's well worth it.
Okay, well, let me tell you something, Tate. I got to tell you, Rundown freaking kicks dadgum ass. We appreciate you at auburnsports.com. Give Hootie a shout, and have a great night, brother.
All right, see you, Doc. Appreciate you.
Hey, brother. Thank you, brother.
All right, Doc Dumpster. Hall of Famer, in my opinion. One of the great ones. Let's take this call from 256. Hey, caller, what's going on? How you doing?
Hey, man, doing good.
What up? Who I got on the horn?
It's Buckshot.
Hey, what up, Buckshot?
What you sipping on tonight?
I'm having some Old Granddad 114, and I'm being careful because I got too lit during the Ole Miss show, so I'm trying to not get too lit tonight.
Okay, all right, understandable.
I like 114 Granddad. Put a little hair on your chest, you know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you. It'll do it. I'm on the 40 Creek. It's a Canadian whiskey.
Oh.
I don't know if you tried it or not. It's pretty good.
Well, I'm from Kentucky, so I tend to drink the Kentucky stuff, but hey, good for you.
Understandable. Hey, let me ask you this.
Word.
Do you watch soccer? Do you follow soccer?
I do.
Okay, this was a 3-2 soccer game tonight.
It kind of was, yeah.
All right, and you've watched games where teams win 3-2, And the team with the 2 was probably the better side, but the team with the 3, took advantage of their opportunities a little better. That's what happened tonight. Now, our 2, or 14, if you will, it's fool's gold. Anybody that's like, oh, man, the offense looked great there late, that's fool's gold. I mean, Georgia, they were kind of resting. They went to like a soft zone. But then once it tightened up, once we got our 2 goals, if you will, they put the screws back to us, and it was over. But to zoom out on the entirety of the program, we're historically an 8 to 9 win program with flashes of greatness once every few years, save for the Pat Dye 80s years where we ran out like 4 SEC championships. But that's what we are. I mean, that's who we are.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right, and it's those flashes of greatness that have yearning for more, to want to be more. Now, I wish we were, at the level of a Alabama or LSU or Georgia now. But here's what we have to consider: do we run Gus off and roll the dice and hope we get somebody that takes us over the hump, or do we bungle this thing, which is totally possible with us being Auburn, and become Ole Miss or Tennessee? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? With the leadership that we have now, on if we do make a change, how confident are you that we get a guy that can take us to that next level?
Well, there's no guy to it. It's Kevin Steele. So your question is Kevin Steele going to be a better head coach than Gus Malzahn? I don't know the answer to that. I don't know. But I'll tell you this: whatever Kevin did in the '90s at Baylor, I don't care about that. It's not relevant to me in my life. So
no, and I tell you a situation you can look at. You look at LSU when they took the interim tag off of Orgeron. I have a really good friend of mine, an LSU guy, and when they took the interim tag off, I called him up and I was just laughing. I was like, "Oh my gosh, y'all got the Cookie Monster." Because I remembered what he did at Ole Miss. The success he had at Southern Cal, I thought, that's way out on the West Coast. That ain't going to matter. But I was just thinking about Ole Miss. And I was like, oh, my gosh, y'all are going to be trash. I cannot believe LSU put the keys to their program in this guy's hand. And all he's done is just chip away, beat our tail 3 times now, and have bested Alabama and have made, the hire to get them an offense. And now look at them; they're probably going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe.
So, can Kevin still be that? Can he continue our defensive prowess and make an offensive hire? Do you think that's really? You think that's in play?
You mean is it a possibility? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, is that in play? If
not
we
only
make
is
a
it
move away from Malzahn, do you think Kevin still is a legitimate choice to be the next head coach?
He's the only one. So, yeah, he's definitely in play.
Is that a personal opinion or is that from sources?
That's from sources.
Really?
I like Kevin a lot.
Do you think he's lobbying for it?
No, I don't think he's lobbying for it. I think he's, the defensive coordinator at Auburn right now. But I think if you're going to try to pay off Gus, you're going to have to get somebody who's cost efficient. I think he's cost efficient. And I think there's a lot of people who think that his attitude more closely matches what Auburn needs to be and what Auburn needs to do. I'm just speaking. Obviously, they're not asking me for my opinion on it. I'm not the one making any hires or fires, but that's the opinion of people.
Do you think he accepts if offered?
Hell yeah, of course. It's Auburn. The keys to Auburn? Are you kidding? Hell yeah.
Sure, I know, but you just some of these guys that are coordinators are like, I don't ever want to be a head coach. I know what I mean. I know he did it at Baylor and all that, but sometimes guys get burnt being a head coach, or they become coordinators, and they're like, I never want that total responsibility.
I think he would do it. I don't think he would go out on the open market to do it, but if he's in a situation, he interviewed at Tennessee last year. I think he finished second in that derby to Jeremy, or maybe it was 2 years ago, whatever. And then I think the situation, if it came to him, he would absolutely take it. Of course he would. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So that's
All right, let's
that's where
play the. I'm going to guess your number again, 1 through 100. Write it down on a piece of paper.
Okay. All right.
You got it?
Yep.
56.
Fuck no, it's not 56.
Okay. Well, you know.
It's a good try, though.
Some. All right, JG. Thanks for the brain drain.
All right, Buckshot. See you, bro. my number was 37 for whatever it's worth. Hey, I want to call Mr. J. Lee. I'm interested to hear what God damn it. I'm sorry, guys. I cussed. I'm sorry. I want to get Jay Lee on the horn. Because Jay Lee's the man, and see what's up with him, what he's thinking, and what he thinks about the power forward from Memphis, Chris Moore. See if we can.
It's Randolph County Sheriff's Department.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I got a young man I need to report. He's bald headed, and he's about half crazy. I think his name's Jeffrey Lee.
Swinging at the knee.
Hell yeah, he was. He's chasing the helicopter. Said the helicopter was chasing his ass. What up, Jay Lee?
Oh, boy.
What have you been doing?
Good evening to you.
Well, we're about, 2.5 hours into the show now.
Well, you know, I just got home about an hour ago.
Yeah.
A lot of recruits after the game. And
did Sharif Cooper sign?
Not today. And, you know, I was talking to the best source and was reassured once again it's nothing to worry about. There's it didn't go into detail. It was just going to sign in the early period. And I'm going, you know, why? What's the holdup? Why? I don't understand it. And just kind of shrugged, you know, and just reassured me that there was nothing to worry about. He would sign in the early period. So it's kind of been, you know, I'm sure we'll find out eventually, but very, very odd now. I gave him a couple of days. I didn't really think, you know how Sharif is. He's very difficult to get in touch with. He kind of stays in his own little cave there. So I don't know if he's setting up an announcement or a signing ceremony or something, or if he wanted to do it his way or what way. But
yeah,
I was giving him the benefit of the doubt through the weekend, and now that he hasn't signed, it's and he'll sign. I don't have many doubts about that. I just very curious as to why he hasn't.
Yeah, it's kind of alarming in a way, but you know, if he ends up signing, then it's no big deal. I don't know.
You know, and I've been telling people, you know, don't worry about it, and I actually believe that, and I still do. But now it's kind of legitimized people's concerns. You know, I can understand why people would be concerned.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense. But and here's, you know, JG, let me give you my theory. Going into the game today, I thought, hey, you know what? Now I get it. They're holding Sharif in case Chris Moore chooses Memphis or Arkansas. So you get some bad news. Well, then what do you do from a PR perspective? Or you turn around and you announce you release the signing of Sharif Cooper.
Yeah.
And then I got to the game and went on in and talked to the folks, and it wasn't going to happen. And Chris Moore was going to commit to Auburn, and I thought, well, damn, you know, I was wrong. That PR option, you know, was moot.
What do you think about Chris Moore?
I thought it was huge. Wes Flanagan did a fantastic job on him. A lot of people didn't give Auburn much chance with him. Thought it was going to be Memphis, and you know, I've been told the last few weeks, you know, that Auburn felt like it was them or Memphis. Well, Arkansas, everybody at Arkansas is, you know, thinking that they're going to get this feral five, is what they were calling them. K.K. Robinson, Moses Moody, Chris Moore, Jalen Williams, Dominique. Forgot Dominique's last name, but there was 5 from Arkansas that, you know, they're kind of going off of that Fab Five, and we're calling them the Feral Five, which was the most Arkansas thing I've ever heard. But, you know, Moses Moody committed last week to Arkansas, and everybody thought Chris Moore was next. And I just kept hearing, Arkansas's third, and I've been saying that, and I've been writing that, and then, I think it was on Wednesday, these picks started coming in for Arkansas, and I'm going, well, maybe my guy's wrong. And then last night checked again, and no, man, Auburn still felt like it was them in Memphis. And this morning got up, talked to some more people, and felt really good about Chris Moore. And we learned a little later on that they were right. He was coming to Auburn. Big get, man. Out
of West Memphis. Man, it's tough to get somebody out of West Memphis, Arkansas. That's just to beat Arkansas and Memphis in their backyard. That ain't easy.
Yeah, you've got Arkansas to the west, Memphis across the bridge, and to the east, and he's coming to Auburn. I think Alan Flanagan was a big reason. I think Wes Flanagan was a big reason. I think Bruce Pearl was probably the main reason. But he wanted to get out and do his own thing, and that's what he's doing.
Football wise, your thoughts now about Gus Malzahn's long-term viability as head coach here?
Took a big hit today, man.
It did.
Took a big hit, and I've been listening for the past hour, and I think everybody, all the callers have touched on at least, the main points. I thought the time, I'm standing by the Georgia cheerleaders there before halftime.
Shocked.
And of course, I had to check it out, And so the ball's right in front of me, and Georgia runs, and they pick up 5. Now, if Auburn stuffs that first down run, I can understand the timeout. But I thought, they picked up 5. Now just let it run. Do not give them any more plays. And he called a timeout, and I thought, wow, man, that's going to come back and bite him. And of course it did. The J.J. Wilson, he's lined up in the slot. He's lined up out wide. I'm going, man, is that the best option they have? Whatever happened to Zach Farrar?
And Matthew Hill, where are they at?
Where's 19? Exactly. Matthew Hill's on the punt return or something. Kick return or something. But that's about the only time you see 19 on the field. But yeah, I thought the play calling was terrible. And of course, I know this why. Because it didn't work.
I know you've been supportive of him in general, but not his best night.
I hate, and everybody knows this that listens. I hate when it's 3rd and 4 and there's a pass pattern or pass play laterally. If it's 3rd and 4, I don't want to see a receiver within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
And then the screen to Seth. I don't understand this, man. Please explain this to me, JG. When this happened, I said I've got to ask JG about this. Auburn's got 3 guys spread out wide, right?
Right.
And there's 3 defenders. Bo pops up, throws it directly to Seth. The 2 guys that are covered block their man, and the guy that's not covered tackles Seth. On what chalkboard does that work?
Well, the throw was kind of like right at Seth instead of in front of him. So I think if he takes his inertia, if he's able to move forward and catch the ball in rhythm, he can cut under those 2 blocks and maybe have some room underneath to try to get the first down. It would have been a tough one, but he would have gained yards instead of losing 3 yards. It was the pass was he caught it, but it wasn't an accurate
3rd and 4, right?
That was 4th and 4, wasn't it?
Oh,
I can't remember.
Were they going north?
They were going north, yeah.
Midfield, around midfield?
Yeah.
Maybe even across midfield.
Yeah, we're thinking the same play, but I just don't remember if it was 3rd or 4th down.
Either way, I hate sideways passes. I'm not a fan.
Well, Gus runs a lot of them.
I thought you talk about Bo Nix throwing 50 passes. A lot of them were dink and dunks.
Yeah.
Not a lot of balls thrown down the field. And of course, you had the Harold Joyner. That was costly. Nick fumbled twice. He lost 1. Had that. Had the pass. You watch Bo Nix. He reminds me so much of Brett Favre. Just in his delivery, he's so unorthodox, and it's not. His fundamentals. He doesn't set his feet. He throws off his back foot. He loves to throw on the run off of 1 foot, sidearms it. He does a lot. It's just not what you would expect from a kid, who's grown up under the tutelage of his father, and he's been to these. He's well-trained quarterback. And
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think the same thing?
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
He doesn't set his feet. He doesn't make. He does. He's not fundamentally sound.
No, he has some weird like back foot type stuff and just kind of double clutches and stuff. But he's so young, Jay Lee.
I know.
It should be Kelly Bryant is supposed to be the quarterback.
Listen, I'm the biggest Bo fan, but this year, I'm not holding back. He's played poorly. And now tonight, I actually thought it was one of his better games, maybe his best game overall.
I agree.
But you've got to make that throw.
30 out of 50 freaking throws tonight, dude. 50 passes.
Yeah.
It's too much.
And even you remember Will Hastings had. Did he have? I know he had one drop hit him in the hands. But overall, I thought Bo was not the reason Auburn lost. Believe it or not, I thought the play calling in the first half was atrocious.
Yeah, it was bad.
And the first drive you go, well, they're moving the football, they get it down, and I think it's 4th and 2. Gus is going to go for it, and then Georgia calls a timeout, and then he sends Anders out, and I'm going, man, he's got a lot. You've talked about this, Jay. He's got a lot more confidence in Anders Carlson than I do.
Yeah, than anybody does. Are you kidding?
Auburn's moving the football. You've got a great defense. It's on the 35-yard line going in. Hey, I'm taking my chances, bro. You give me more time to think about the play that I'm going to run. I'm going for it there. I don't have the confidence in the kicker, and understandably so. But send him out there, and after that first drive, I don't know that Auburn did much of anything until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Anders is now 4 of 10 from outside of 40 yards. Jay Lee, 4 of 10.
How many?
He's 4 of 10 from outside of 40. He's perfect inside of that, but he can't hardly hit a kick over 40.
Man,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's troubling, but
no doubt.
After tonight, do you see? I don't know. We've talked about it, but I thought Gus Malzahn's momentum as head coach at Auburn hit a big snag tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly he's probably better off at Arkansas at this point, but we'll see how this works out.
I do too. I mean,
if they'll take it.
Yeah, hey, Arkansas, 8-9 wins at Arkansas.
I mean, that's the big, yeah. That he's fine at Arkansas at doing 8-4. He's fine.
He can make a career out of that.
He can.
Auburn, it won't cut it.
I mean, he yeah. And I don't think the people here are happy with him either. We'll see what happens.
They can't be. If Auburn looked, decent tonight on offense, and I don't think they looked decent tonight on offense. I thought they looked poor. And, you just watch that and go, man, look at this defense. This defense should be undefeated. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
That defense is so good. It's so good. It's a shame that they've that they have 3 losses and know it all. Excuse me. Not all their fault.
Yeah.
And I saw Kevin walking out after the game, and of course he was dejected. Kind of shrugged his shoulders, like I don't know what else more I can do.
Yeah, dude, he held him to like 3 of 15 on third down. I mean, seriously.
And I think from 110 yards.
Yeah, they had 250 yards, Jay Lee. That's it.
Ahead.
All they had was 250 yards. That's it.
250. Wow. It was very, very impressive, man. Those guys played their asses off. And if you take that into the second quarter, that 80-yard drive where Malzahn called the timeout away from them, that was one heck of a game.
Yeah. Jay Lee, you're doing a hell of a job.
Hey, let me say something real quick.
Word.
I like this Doc Dunster guy.
He's all right, isn't he?
I mean, I can't stand him on the bunker, but man, I really like this guy.
I know you were like, it's getting a little tired, but
I mean, I want to have a drink with him.
Hey, you remember that dude we were fussing about this morning?
Yeah.
What the hell, man? So much crying. They act like it's a freaking court of law.
It was like 3 or 4 posts of this gibberish.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. That was my whole point. No, this not. We're not going to do this.
And he's like, "How dare you take my post down?" I'm like, "Dude,
yeah,
get out of here, man."
I will say, let me give you a quick rundown on the recruits that I talked to.
Yeah, for sure.
Dallas Walker, 4-star defensive tackle from Tennessee. He's committed to Texas A&M. He was there tonight. Coming back potentially. Really likes Auburn. I think Auburn could be a player for him before it's over with. Philip Webb is there tonight. He's coming back December 6th for an official visit. Talked to J.J. McGee. He's here on an official visit, leaving tomorrow. Going to visit Ole Miss, Bama, and then make a decision. Auburn still leads for him. A lot of young guys were there. A lot of 2021 really good players were there. Overall, man, I tell you, the crowd in the fourth quarter really saved the atmosphere of this game. I thought the crowd, understandably, started out slow today. But man, by the fourth quarter, when Auburn scored 14 points, that place was rocking.
It was.
So it was overall a lot of good responses from recruits, and overall good day for recruiting. I think as bad as some of the offense looked at times.
Yeah, I don't know. The kids don't necessarily get caught up in the stats of the game. I think it's just kind of like the atmosphere matters more.
Yeah, right on. Absolutely.
Word. All right, brother.
Hey, man, don't drink too many, but drink one for me.
All right, bro. You be good, Jay Lee. I'll see you Tuesday.
Peace out, homie.
See you, bro. Jeffrey Lee, the man, the Hall of Famer. Hootie was trying to call in earlier, and I think I missed you, Hootie. So if you want to try to pick me back up, I will try to hit it. I wouldn't mind talking to Hootie a little bit. Just to help you all see that it's two different people, right? Right? We're right about that, aren't we? Jay Lee's got a good point, though, that recruits don't, like you say, well, they lost to Georgia, like, they'll never go to Auburn now. It doesn't really work that way. And this doesn't have to do with Gus or, whatever else we've been talking about tonight. I'm just saying from a recruiting perspective, you say, well, why would a player ever go play for Gus? They don't really think about it that way, All right, let's see. I think I know who we got here. Hey, caller, how you doing?
Hey, buddy. How you doing, buddy?
What's up? Here we go.
This is Hootie. How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Hootie? How you been?
Who is this?
Who do you think it is?
Is this JG Tate?
It's Jeffrey Lee. No, it's JG. It is.
Hey, Jeffrey. How you doing,
No,
buddy?
it's JG, really. What's going on, man?
What's up, Jay? How you doing? This is Hootie coming live to you from the house. What's going on? Listen.
Do you have Alexa?
Do what now?
Do you have Alexa?
I do have Alexa. I got dyslexia, and Doc Dumpster was so surprised I was trying to cut my porch lights on, and I said, Alexia, cut my porch lights on. They cut on, and Doc Dumpster about had a fit. He didn't know what was going on.
He seemed surprised. Yeah.
So, yeah, Doc doesn't get out very much, but let me tell you, Doc came to my house to watch the game today. I got a lot of buddies. Doc's my best buddy. Doc shows up with some potpourri and his own plunger. Who does that? I mean, who comes to a football party with their own potpourri and a plunger?
He must have something in mind he wants to do to your house.
I don't know. I mean, he went to Huddle House this morning, but I didn't know he was going to come prepared. You know what I'm saying? But we had a good time. Me and Doc, we watch every Auburn game together. Everybody thinks me and Doc are the same person.
Yeah, you're right.
We are not. Me and Doc have been good buddies for like the past 15 years. We met at that concert, that
Diamond Rio
concert in Amarillo, Texas. So, I mean, we met up in Amarillo. We've been buddies a long time. We watch all the Auburn games together. We've been through a lot of victories. We've been through a lot of defeats. Today was a pretty rough game for me and Doc to watch together. I don't know what to say about today, JD. What do you think, buddy?
It was a tough one. It was a tough one. It's going to be a tough one to take for a while because for Gus, it's going to be a tough one to explain away. JD.
I mean, I tell you, we what I like to say, we had the offense. We were rolling in the first half. We get a couple of good plays. We run a couple of good slants to Seth, and then it's the negative plays just kill me. So we get going, and then we have a negative play, and next thing you know, it's 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 15, and we're not a good enough offense to overcome that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm more interested in your relationship with Doc. I mean, that's what blows me away, you know? I mean, the Diamond Rio concert, I mean, you know, a lot of people don't hang out at those.
Hey, screw Auburn football. Let's talk about Diamond Rio. I mean, you start walking your way, and I'll start walking mine. And we'll meet in the middle, JT. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hell yeah. We're 2 hours and 40 minutes into the show. That's all, you know.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but it just kills me. I mean, you know, sometime our offense is good as gold up in Santa Fe, and next thing you know, we're losing 15 yards. It just doesn't make any sense. I didn't understand. I'm like Doc. I don't understand when we spread out number 42. It just makes no sense to me. I didn't understand it. It just baffled me that we're going to spread him out and try to go to him on a fade route. I mean, no offense to his catching ability. I didn't understand that.
I think that play surprised everybody. Not sure that JJ is the best guy to run a fade route.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't understand. I mean, we got a lot of receivers, and to spread 42 out, I didn't understand it. I thought the defense played well. I hurt for them. They played so well. They can only hold them out of the end zone for so long. I don't know what to say, JG. I enjoy Auburn football. I like getting together with Doc Dumpster. No matter if we're going to win or lose, I have a good time watching Auburn football. I don't know what to say about it tonight, buddy.
Yeah, well, I mean, my question to you is, how long do you think Gus ought to stay? You think he ought to be here next year?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a big, let's analyze the coach and let's fire the coach kind of guy. I was very, very, very frustrated after 3 quarters tonight. I'm thinking, get rid of him. I'm not thinking get rid of him. I'm thinking if he gets shut out at Jordan-Hare in our biggest home game of the year and he grows a goose egg, he's gone. The 14 points in the fourth quarter, that could have saved the job. I don't know. Not that he had anything to do with it. But, I just don't know, JD. I mean, I don't know if we can do any better. But it's very frustrating. Gus is an offensive guy, and to see the offense play like this is it's very frustrating. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I understand the consternation, for sure. It's frustrating. You're paying this guy $7 million. Hey,
don't get me wrong. Hootie is not. I'm not constipated. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gus. Come on, JG. I'm not constipated, buddy.
I hear you, man. Hootie, it's been a pleasure having you on the horn, though.
Yeah, good to talk to you tonight. I've been trying to get through. Me and Doc were here. So, Doc, I went and picked up Doc. So, Doc does not drive anywhere. So, I had to go pick him up today.
Damn.
Doc does not drive. I went and picked up Doc this morning about 12 o'clock, and I brought him over to my house. And his son came and picked him up this evening. We were going to call him together. So, Doc just grabbed his potpourri and his plunger, and then he headed on out. I didn't know he was leaving. It's a crazy thing.
Oh, Hootie, you're doing a hell of a job, brother.
But, hey, basketball, we're ready. We're good to go. I recorded the game Friday night, didn't see it, but I'm going to watch it tomorrow and break it down. But I'm looking forward to basketball season. I love it. I'm excited about basketball. I love Big Doughty. I love all the guys on the basketball team. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, brother. You be good out there.
All right, Jay. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
See you, Hootie. All right, I just missed a call by 5 seconds from the 925 area code. So if you are calling in, here we go. Sorry, I'm glad you called right back. Hey, caller, how you doing? Whoa, are you on a jet? Hello? All right, we're going to let that one go. Maybe that's why I should have answered it. Sound like they were on a jet, man. I don't even know what's going on there. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to the show.
Hey, how you doing, Jay?
Word. Who I got on the horn?
This is burnt orange and navy blue. I'm not a heavy poster by any means, but I've been on the site for about 8 or 9 years.
No, I've seen you. What's going on, man?
Oh, hanging in there, brother. I'm calling from way out here, right outside of San Francisco, California.
Damn. What is that like? I don't know. What town is that? Are you afraid to say?
No, it's okay. I'm in Brentwood, California. I'm active duty Air Force out here, so I've been out at Travis Air Force Base for going on about 9 years now. But I'm originally from Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
I partied my way right on out of Troy, so that's how I got my way out here. But man, I just I'm listening to everybody calling in tonight, and I listen every week and all that, and I've tried to get in and all that, but I can't really. I don't want to be one of these Gus bashers, and I don't want to, just sit over here and go on and on about him. But I mean, I'll keep it quick. When we started, and I think anybody could have led Cam Newton to at least 10, 11 wins that year. So I'm taking that out of the frame and all that. And what he came in 2013, he fooled us with it. But, to sit over here, this is an Auburn fan, to go back in 2013, 2014, and we sat over here, especially after that Iron Bowl in 2014, and we look at it and we say, damn, man, if we just had just any kind of defense. But now we got the defense, and he's regressed.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my brother. He's out in Vegas, so he's all connected with, the Sharks and all that kind of stuff. But, you look at this stuff, and, I'm not a big Danielson fan, but he pointed it out. There was like a play earlier today where Gus runs a screen pass, and LeCount, he knew as soon as it was snapped, and he went right over there to Eli Stove. He knew exactly what was coming. That's film. He's not predictable anymore. I know we all got on him and bashed him like, as soon as we get a first down, he's going to run it right up the middle. We get 2 yards, and then we try to do this again. Now he's actually throwing slants, and, I know the Bunkers, been lobbying for years for slants. Now it's literally the only thing we can run.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? How it changes around like that.
It is unreal, brother. I have no idea. I know we didn't really run the football a lot today, but I felt like we would have been better off by just running it into the dirt opposed to just throwing it, constantly over and over and over again. I'm not going to sit over here and get on Bo too much, but I am with a lot of the other callers, man. I just think that he misses so many throws, and I think we all got just so tied up in the Alabama state records and all that kind of stuff, and, his father being, just grooming him from birth to be the, starting quarterback at Auburn University. But, he just hasn't played all that well this year, and I think we just need to just face it.
I thought he was decent tonight, though. They asked him to do way too much, but 30 of 50 with no interceptions, that's not bad. And he had the fumble that hurt him. He missed on the throw to Joyner, but in general, I thought he was pretty good tonight. I don't know.
With like the kind of small stuff with that, though, but didn't we hear from Gus, oh, God, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago, where he said, this ain't Penson Valley anymore. He can't outrun SEC defenders. But he's still doing the same thing. He's still trying to outrun SEC defenses. He's not securing the football. I don't know, man. I'm not going to sit over here and I'm not going to bash Bo. And I've been listening for the last 2 or 3 hours. My wife, she's originally from Danville, California out here. And she never, college football is nothing out here. It's all Raiders, Niners, it's, the Warriors, whatever. I come out here, and the first game she watched with me was the 2011 game against Clemson. And she was just like, I'll never watch another Auburn game with you the rest of my life. Are you kidding me? Sammy Watkins, I believe, goes for 14 catches, 250 yards, 3 or 4 touchdowns. But now she sits in here, every week, and she's, diehard with me. But she just looks at it, and she's just like, what are we doing? Like, they know exactly what we're going to do before we do it. And I try to explain this stuff to her, but, it's film. Like, everybody's got the book on Gus.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what he's going to do before he's going to do it. It just seems like, everybody gets on Lincoln Riley and they say, wow, what a play caller. What a, what he does that makes him so great is he takes the matchup that he sees, he takes advantage of the weak spot in the defense, and he makes it. And I've been sitting here listening to you, watching this Baylor game. The guy's down 3 or 4 touchdowns, and him and Jalen Hurts are fixing to walk the dog right down here to the field, and they're finna win this ball game. And I don't understand how Gus just doesn't see. I just how do you go 2 weeks after watching Georgia and they can't throw the football vertically? I don't know, man. It's just a tough watch. It's just tough in general, man. I just don't know what to do. But let me just ask you this, and I'll let you go, brother.
Yes, sir.
I know you talked a lot about Kevin Steele. So if we did make the move, I get where you're, the logic on it. Like we can Gus, we keep Kevin Steele. I would assume he would keep the majority of the staff, correct?
Certainly on the defensive side, yeah.
Yeah. I know Kenny D's probably out of the works, but what would you think about maybe like Chad Morris? Chad Morris is out there. Does Kevin have any kind of ties to Chad or anything? Would that be like kind of an option? Where do you think I know he's got ties because he's been in the in the SEC in the game for 30, 40 years, but what do you think his move would be offensively? Would he go with a spread guy or what?
Yeah, I can't even really talk. I don't know yet. I mean, I haven't had a conversation with him about that, obviously, and I'm not going to until the time's appropriate. And I don't know. I mean, he's been coaching so long that, he literally got his first job in '84 coaching at Nebraska. So, I mean, geez, he knows everybody. And
Osborne years.
If I would guess, he would probably want somebody who paid more attention to ball control than Gus does. Although time of possession really wasn't a problem today, but in general, I think that would be something he would accentuate. Yeah, just my opinion.
All right.
All right, bro.
All right, brother. Well, I love everything you do, man. Keep up the good work, man, and I'll keep tuning in, brother. Take it easy.
Appreciate you, bro. See ya.
All right, man. Yeah.
It's a good point there. I actually grew up for most of my young life in California, in San Diego, north of San Diego, in a little community called Tierra Santa. And college football wasn't even a thing. Like, nothing. I had no idea. When I moved to Tulsa in '84, which I would have been 12 years old, like, I didn't even know, like, the teams or anything. Like, I got there and it was like, oh, are you a fan of the Sooners? And I was like, I don't even know who that is. Like, I've never even heard of that. Like, and I had to learn like that. We watched the NFL. I loved the Chargers when I was in San Diego. I lived up on the hill, like right above. In fact, I think I have a picture here. I lived on the hill above Jack Murphy Stadium. And, we would watch games and stuff. I wasn't as interested in football as I was the Padres. But I was going to try to show you all a picture. We took a picture up there one time. I don't see it now, though. It's a scintillating video, I know. Anyway, yeah, in San Diego, just nobody cares about college football or whatever. It's all NFL or whatever. Nah, I can't find a picture now. Dadgummit, I was really hoping to be able to show you all that. That stinks. Dadgummit. Oh, one of my all-time favorite pictures right there. I'll probably show you all that. I'm just going through random stuff on my desktop. I gotta put it into OBS here real quick. Just give me a second. Oh man, I can't do it. Anyway, it's that picture. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but of Nick Marshall and Bill Snyder, kind of talking before that game at Kansas State in 14, I guess. One of my all-time favorite pictures, man. If you remember Nick Marshall, man, the only other team that really wanted him was Kansas State. He was at a JUCO in Kansas. It was Kansas State, Auburn. Texas wanted him too, but they really wanted him as a DB. Kansas State wanted to play him at quarterback, and then Auburn did as well. I'll take this call, 803. Do I know that area code? I don't think I do. Hey, caller, welcome to the show. How you doing?
JG, what's happening, brother?
What up? Who I got on the horn?
You got your old buddy Sloppy Mexican, my friend.
Hey, what up? How you been, man?
Buddy, I have been MIA for a while, and I apologize. It's been a busy world out there, and I finally got myself a weekend where I don't have anything going on. So I've had the pleasure of sitting on my ass all day watching football, and unfortunately watched the Flaming Gus bus go over the cliff yet again.
Yeah, kind of did.
Yeah, not how I wanted that one to turn out, but I think we all kind of knew it was coming. I mean, golly, same shit, different day, man. I posted on the bunker earlier when B Matt was posting his quick notes on Gus's post-game presser, and I said, dude, you copied and pasted all of these notes, didn't you? Because guess what? They're the same thing he says every week. And it's just getting old, man. But I'm glad to hear everybody's in at least a decent mood despite the complete debacle that we saw.
Yeah,
but,
I think people are a little bit more.
I don't want to call and bash on Gus or Bo or any of that. I tell you what I do want to talk about, though. I want to talk about our defense, man.
Okay.
I mean, I was really, really proud of our DBs tonight. I saw JD stepping up. I think we broke up probably at least half a dozen passes between JD and Roger McCrary tonight. Those guys played really well.
Absolutely.
And, of course, the D-line was really solid, too. And, I mean, man, it's just such a heartbreaking thing to watch those guys sell out every week and have a championship caliber unit only to watch the offense take the field and hey, another 3 and out. Let's see if the defense can hang on this time. You just can't expect those guys to play the whole game without finally breaking a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. But they've been balling their ass off all year long, haven't they? Derek Brown's been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man. If he's not the first guy taken off the NFL draft board, I mean,
he won't be.
I don't think Jesus Christ himself could be taken before Derek Brown this year.
Well, bro, I mean, Jesus is a pretty good guy, though.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think he can tackle like Derek Brown can.
Interesting point.
He sure as hell can't handle a triple team, I'll tell you that much.
Somebody asked me earlier, that's funny, if this is the best defense I've seen, and I think it is. I used to think 04 was the best, but this is probably better than that, considering the offenses they have to go against.
Yeah, 04 was a real scrappy bunch. They were undersized in some positions, and but they always just left it all out on the field. And but this defensive unit, man, they're always playing downhill, and that's what makes them so much fun to watch. And Kevin Steele's done a great job. But I've been watching the chat tonight, and I've heard people talking about Kevin Steele as a head coach, and I've heard you talking about that a lot. What makes you think he might be the right guy if Gus is to evacuate in one way or another?
Well, because I like the way that he has set up his defense. He recruits well. He sets up his depth chart correctly. He's always got another layer of guys ready to go. And I think he's been developing his players on that side of the ball. Now, he doesn't know anything about offense, but if he can hire somebody on offense to handle stuff the way he's handled defense at Auburn, well, I think it'd be a pretty good operation there.
Yeah, well, you know what? You got a good point, man. I mean, I think a huge part of the college game now is roster management and having guys you can plug in. I mean, hell, Nick Saban wrote the book on that. And, you don't necessarily have to have 5-star guys 2 and 3 deep, but you at least got to have some competent players who can step on the field and you can trust them enough that they're not going to lose the game for you.
Yeah.
And get them a little on-the-job training. But Gus is so daggum paranoid, he's not willing to put people in the game and let them learn. They screw up one time, and you're in the doghouse, Matthew Hill. Welcome to special teams for the rest of your life, brother.
Yeah, well, we were waiting to see him tonight. They were throwing fades to J.J. Wilson, and number 19's not playing.
God. Yeah, don't get me started on that, man. I mean, some of the play calls were, made sense, but there were a lot of times where I was just shaking my head and, kicking my coffee table. My wife had to walk in the room and calm me down a few times, but man, I was talking to my brother before the game, and he was excited. He married a Georgia Bulldog, and he was excited about the game and thought we might be able to win. And I told him, man, I said, look, could we win? Yeah, we could win this game. But I just didn't see it. I didn't see it, man. I thought we would end up losing by, 6 points, 7 points, 9 points, and it would have been that little glimmer of hope that we had against LSU, that little glimmer of hope we had against Florida. And I just don't know that you can put those fourth quarter comebacks or fourth quarter heroics on a true freshman yet without, taking the training wheels off. Gus kept the training wheels on Bo the whole, first almost 3.5 quarters. And when he finally took the training wheels off and let the kid throw the ball down the field and let him take off and run a little bit, good things happened. And, what's this? We're going to actually hurry up to the line and snap the football without a mass substitution package and, tweaking the players on the field to get that perfect lineup because Gus is overthinking it. I mean, it's maddening to watch.
Yeah.
It really is.
It just doesn't seem like it changes much, Same problems keep coming up time and time again.
No, and you know what? I'm actually going to do something for you. I will make a commitment for you tonight, JG.
Make the commitment.
I'm going to look through all of BMAT's old post-game presser quick notes, and I want to do a little comparison for you. I want to see if my theory is true that Gus really does say the exact same thing after every single game.
There's no doubt.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Got to get better.
We're going to get better. We got a lot of room to improve. We're young, JG.
Yeah, the offense is a work in progress. Like 10 games in.
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
They're pretty good defense. I mean, how many times have we heard that stuff over and over again? Yeah. And man, I guess I'm just tired of the same old soundtrack. I'm tired of the same 12 plays on offense with no creativity, with no evolution whatsoever, no self-examination of where we could improve. I forget who it was that brought up, Gus's big bye-week wrinkle, and that was throwing 42 out there on the edge to block, and yeah. I mean, I saw that a couple times, and I said, okay, well, that's different, but that still doesn't impress me because 42 doesn't have any business lining up on the outside. I mean, what did that really accomplish except to make Georgia say, that's different. We might need to keep our eye on that guy for a few plays,
right.
But we know he's not going to burn us deep, so we'll just play 2 deep safeties and we'll be all right.
But he can't, yeah. They think he's probably one of their best receivers of the ball. Like, he can make great catches. But are you scared of him if you're Georgia? No, he's not going to get away from anybody, right?
No, he can't create separation down the field. Not like 5 can. But you know what? 5 only got 1 ball thrown to him, past 5 yards tonight. And he almost made a hell of a catch when the ball was thrown to him, even though it was a little underthrown. But I mean, shoot, man, it's same thing each week when we play a good competitive team. And my uncle and I have this tradition of talking after every Auburn game. And if Auburn wins, we have this fun greeting that we give each other on the phone. But when Auburn loses, we both say, War Eagle anyway.
War Eagle
and
anyway.
We sound like Eeyore,
Yeah.
War Eagle anyway, JG. And, back to the drawing board. So anyway, man, I thought the show tonight was fantastic. Doc was on fire. AU Alumni was on fire. A couple other real good callers. Just 1 minute needs to be limited to just 1 minute.
Just 1 minute.
But other than that, it was a fun night, man. I'm glad everybody's still in good spirits. And as much as I hated to see the Alabama quarterback get hurt, hey, if that gives us a little chance in the Iron Bowl, I'll take it.
Yep. Sloppy Mexican, you're one of the good guys.
Take it easy, brother. Enjoy that brown liquor.
I'll be good, bro. Yeah, Sloppy Mexican. Always hilarious. I did get that picture up. There it is. This was the view of like where I lived in my neighborhood at the edge of the neighborhood. Now, this is not me. This is just like other people that were there. Obviously, at the time, I was like 12. But this is like where I lived. And so at the edge of my neighborhood, which my parents would let me go to because I didn't have to go over any major intersections or anything, this is where we would sit. And I would sit right here in this very spot. There was no TV normally. And I would listen to the Padres games. We would have a radio, and I would be able to see in there. And if they were happy about a home run or whatever, Ozzie Smith made some great play, I'd be able to hear the crowd roar, and it was great. This is how I spent my summer, my 10-year-old year, 11-year-old year, 12-year-old year, etc. And then I got moved to Tulsa, and it sucked. But that's okay. I ended up making friends in Tulsa. Everything was fine. All right, so we are now officially over the 3-hour mark on the show. I know in the beginning you all couldn't see me because I hadn't turned it on yet, but the show was still going. There was something over here in the... Lewis says lots of orgies. I don't even know what the word orgy means. On the hill, I don't know what that means. But oh my goodness, I just lost my power cord. Come back, Shane. All right, we're back on. Yeah, that was where I hung out. Spent a lot of time in San Diego. Thought I would go to San Diego State, honestly. That's where I kind of wanted to go, and then we got to Oklahoma, and shit got weird. Is this a question? Did you guys ask this question? My man JB's watching the show. He says, do you think Jay is wearing slacks or sweatpants? Trick question. He's not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts, actually. I do like to wear a tie, though, on the show just to be professional because, it's a professional organization we got here at auburnsports.com. I still have calls coming in, but I feel like we should wrap it up. I kind of want to see the end of this game. Looks like the Fighting Muschamps are not going to be able to pull that one off tonight. Looks like OU and Baylor are tied with, 2 minutes left in this game? Oklahoma looks like they're down deep. Going to have a chance to kick a field goal right here. I don't know. I can't really see. I'm looking at my daggone thingamabopper. Anything else going on today? Let's see. Oh, my gosh. USD is playing at Colorado, and they're only down 3 at halftime? Like, USD is like if we got a bunker all-star team together and started playing. Are you kidding me? This can't be right. Colorado's not ranked, are they? Oh, it's basketball. My bad. Still don't think that should be going on. Colorado's ranked in basketball? Give me a break. Jeff Shearer? I don't know if you guys know who he is. He writes for the Auburn Tigers website. Former great Montgomery TV guy. He's a Colorado graduate. Yeah, no kidding. So let's see. A&M's up 30-6 on Carolina. My God. Ay. And also remember when Vanderbilt was up on Kentucky like 14-3 earlier, and all my friends that are UK people on my Twitter feed were like, "Oh my God!" They won 38-14. 58-37 in the LSU Ole Miss game. What? Wow. So maybe we'll wrap it up there. I mean, we still got some calls coming in. I feel like we should take it. Yeah, let's take it. Hey, caller, how you doing? Thanks for calling in, yo.
Fire Gus.
Who I got on the horn?
I'm just kidding, Tater. It's Alpha Tiger. How you doing?
Hey, what up, man? Hey, before you get going, I want to say, hey, remember we were having like a DM? I can't remember if it was a DM or a Gmail about a particular member yesterday. Do you remember that?
We were. I think it was a couple days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and that dude ended up being a dick today. Like I reinstated him like you and I talked about, and then he ended up being a dick today. So I was like, "Come on, man!" I even tagged you in the post.
I saw the tag. I didn't really read too much into it.
Yeah, whatever.
I wasn't sure why it was tagged, but yeah, I'm sorry. I do try to stand up for the guys I like on the board, and I'm sorry. I kind of made me look like an ass apparently.
It's okay, man. Anything you want to add to our already 3-hour discussion on what the hell happened there?
Well, I mean, just kind of. I mean, I've been listening to a little bit of it. I'm kind of at a party, so I've been kind of like stepping out, listening to a bit here and there. But I mean, do you think it kind of moved the meter at all on Gus at all tonight? I mean, obviously the first half I think made a much more compelling argument that like he's not the guy to run the show going forward. But the second half, the comeback, you kind of wonder if that kind of squashed some of those feelings that maybe some of the powers that be may have had in the first half.
No, I don't think I think the people that really don't like Gus, I'm talking about the power people, I think they're undeterred. I think what happened in the fourth quarter doesn't matter to them, no.
Do you don't think it moved probably anybody on either side?
No, I don't. I think the people that don't like him are feel even stronger about it, and I don't even know if there's a lot of people who really like him. I think there's people who think maybe we should just hold on to him. I mean, I'm just trying to be real about it. I know I cover him and stuff, and I talk to him, but I'm just trying to be fair about what I think.
No, I understand. Like in your profession, there's only so much you can say necessarily. Like even if you know more information, but I mean, I don't know. It just seems like tonight it was just another performance. It just seemed kind of stagnant from an offensive standpoint. If you look at the first half, like the 3 and outs, you looked at the first couple drives. We had some slant passes that were working and were pretty damn effective. And then we went away from them and had like 2 or 3 straight 3 and out series where we didn't throw a single slant. And then you look at kind of incorporating that some in the second half, and we actually started moving the ball a little bit again. It just seems it's just kind of mind-boggling to my point. I mean, I don't know if it's because he runs his offense based off script or because it's just the way he actually thinks, and if it's the way he thinks and the way he's kind of like adjusting on the fly, then that's I think even more of a concern. But why do you think he went away from the slants after the first couple of drives where they seemed to be pretty effective?
I think they weren't there as much anymore. I think he was trying to change up and try to get bigger chunks, and it worked to some degree in the fourth quarter, but it took a long time to get to a point where it worked, and I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, and I will say, like, some in the second half, maybe you look at some of the plays, like, I actually thought he called a pretty decent offensive game. I'm pretty anti-Gus, but I thought he called a pretty decent game when it came to the second half. A lot of times where we fell short was kind of because of being able to, God forbid I say, execute versus big Gus term there. But they just, like, we had a couple drop passes, a couple what you maybe call 50-50 balls that we didn't get, and obviously the throw behind Harold Joyner on the fourth down play there. But what do you think, I guess, this team does going forward? Do you think we have a pretty good shot against Alabama after obviously Tua going down, or do you think that that's still going to be I don't really know much about. I think it's Mac Jones is their backup quarterback. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, Mac Jones is okay. I just got to think at some point this team's going to kind of power down because the defense keeps battling, and there's not a lot of satisfaction to be gotten from that. So at some point, I just think they're going to kind of ease back a little bit. I think Auburn's got a pretty good shot. I mean, against Alabama, but I thought they had a good shot against Georgia, and they didn't look good. So at this point, I agree with that.
I thought we had a great shot against Georgia.
Me too.
I guess my question following up on that would be, I mean, obviously, I think one of the biggest reasons that Gus is there's not probably a bigger argument to get rid of him is because he has so much support amongst the players. Do you think that is ever going to hit a tipping point where particularly the offensive side, but I'd say both sides of the ball. I mean, the defense is pulling more than their weight, and the offensive guys are like, maybe we don't have the coach who's putting us in the best position to show our talents. I mean, do you see this team turning on Gus at all, or
no.
do you think these guys just love him?
I think they're generally cool with Gus. I don't, but it doesn't. The players don't really matter. I mean, they do. They definitely matter on the field. I'm just saying when it comes to whether there's going to be a regime change, like the powers that be, they make that decision regardless of what the players think. They just don't care. So I don't think that really matters. I don't think there's a big revolt coming. No, I don't. Not at all from the players. I think they're fine.
Do you think it's going to affect some recruiting? I mean, say we lose to Alabama, we go 8-4. Do you think that affects recruiting pretty negatively, or do you think we've got a lot of guys in place that kind of know where we are as a program, and I guess are content with that, if you will.
Yeah, I don't think it affects recruiting a whole lot, but if they lose to Alabama, I think there'll be a regime change, and then that's going to affect recruiting a lot, whether it's good or bad. So it's hard to say right now.
Anytime you have regime change, that affects recruiting. But sometimes if the regime change is the right one, one shitty year recruiting's not gonna. It's worth it, I guess, in the long run. But obviously, I'm pro that. But yeah, I mean, I guess in a general sense. But yeah, I guess that was pretty much all I had.
All right, Alpha.
Any insight I can give to you tonight?
No, I mean, I was just going to kind of tease you about that guy we were talking about, but I know. I mean, you weren't like sticking your neck way out for him. I was just teasing around.
No, I do like that particular poster. I do think he brings value to the board in a lot of areas, and I didn't really read too much into what he said today. I didn't see it, to be honest, but I do hope that you guys can work that out, and I hope he's around for a long time. But yeah.
Word. All right, Alpha Tiger, you be good, bro.
Appreciate it, Tate. Have a good one.
See you, man. All right, Alpha Tiger. I got to write him down. Keeping a list here of the folks that call in. We got a bunch, man. Let me go through the folks that have called in tonight. Ruxpin let us off. Ruxpin was lit, too, wasn't he? Virginia Tiger called twice. We still got calls coming in. Auburn Alumni, 1458 crew that I called. Stretch Armstrong, who I called. He had made a great point on Joyner. I wrote that down. Just 1 minute, who should have been named just 10 minutes. Brian Matthews, Lewis, Jay Bird, Steve from Boston, Power Man, Doc Dumpsta, Buckshot, Jay Lee, Hootie, Burnt Orange and Navy Blue, Sloppy Mexican, and then Alpha Tiger right there. I still got calls coming in, but guys, for reals, man, I've been live for 3 hours and 15 minutes. Oh boy, I wonder we may have a guest getting ready to come up here. Let me see if my administrative assistant knows anything about it. Hey, administrative assistant. Hey, Cordy. Oh, I think we do have a mystery guest coming up here. Trying to summon our mystery guest. Hey, hey, buddy. What's going on? You want to get up here on the show? Look who it is, you guys. Hey, easy. It's Maverick. What up, Mav? Whoa. Hold on, bro. Can you say hi to the peoples? Right here. Whoa, hold on, man. Say hi to everybody. What are you doing, Mav? How you been? This is Maverick, my pug. He is, what is he, like 8 months old? 5 months old? Whoa. Hold on, bro. Hey. We got him in Moss Point, Mississippi. Oh, my goodness. And he's a good boy. He's a little hyper. He's the most hyper pug we've ever had. But he's a good boy, isn't he? Are you a good boy? We say hi to the people.
Hello. I was a pug and I was crazy.
Oh, are you tired? Are you tired? Are you tired? Come here. Give your daddy a kissy. Love the pug. That's my big guy right here. All right. He's not a bulldog, you guys. He says, JGT taunting us with a UGA puppy. Dude, it's a pug, man. There's no fighting pugs out there. It's not a bull. There's no team called the Fighting Pugs. At what school? At Tate University? AU88 says pugs are worthless dogs. Can you believe that? I'm going to ban you for that. I've had enough. That's a joke. I'm putting you in timeout, AU88. You're bad. Unbelievable. A pug puppy? Who could hate a pug puppy? Oh my goodness. Look who I've got over here. Come here, buddy. Come here, Sam. Oh, he took off. My cat took off. Chip says all pug owners have the pug voice. What's going on, puggers? How you doing, big boy? Oh, look who I got, administrative assistant. What's up, Sam? It's your second appearance on the show. Would you like to say hello to the peoples? I was telling him earlier, he doesn't like Gus at all. Sammy has been out. He was out after the 16 debacle. Right? When they lost big at Georgia in 16, you were done. You were like, that guy can't win shit. I don't know why you're such a hater, dude. Who can they get that's better? What'd you say? Kevin Steele? Yeah, I like him too. He's good. All right, bro. I don't want to put you down here. Your brother's going to try to attack you. I got a pug under me here. Oh, they're going to have a fight now. God dang it. Hey, can you guys chill out? Seriously. Oh, God. Anyway, we got a call coming in. Let's take this call. Might as well. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome.
JG Tate, how you doing, man?
What's
This is the
up?
plug you got there.
Who I got here?
This is heavyweights for AU.
Heavyweight?
Heavyweights for AU.
Oh, word. So, how you doing, man?
Good, man. I know you're probably getting tired. I'm going to be quick, I promise. But just a little low after the game, and I had a couple questions for you.
Sure, hell yeah, I'm here.
All right, so what happened to Gus, man? We were in 13 and 14.
Yeah.
We thought we had the best thing running. I mean, you guys even wrote articles saying, hey, y'all better enjoy this. He's going to be gone to the NFL in a couple of years.
That's true. I did.
The offense was unreal. It was as we were saying, if we just had a defense. And then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we have no identity at all. And I just want to know what you guys think would happen to Gus. I mean, why do we look like we did today with one of the most, one of the best minds in college football? And, what happened to him?
It's a great question. I think that people caught up to him. People kind of defensive coordinators who were flummoxed in 2013 and 14 just watched a lot of video, recruited quicker players. They go to 4.25 a lot now. And Gus has not found a way to consistently buck that trend and kind of get an upper hand on those guys. He will tell you, and he does tell you at press conferences, that it's all about execution, and they could have executed better tonight. But I just don't think that I don't think his system is going to consistently flummox the good defensive coordinators. I don't like Kirby and Dave Aranda and those guys, Nick Saban. I just don't think he's going to be able to get the better of them because they basically know what's coming, more or less. So
Yeah.
this was
No,
a really
good stuff.
novel concept in 13, but now it's not.
Yeah, and he hasn't evolved like Saban or Dabo, and hasn't gotten better. He's just stuck with what he's known for. Like you said, he built this offense, buttoned it up, and from his bootstraps, and that's all he knows. And he can't evolve into what's going to be efficient.
The argument is, and we've been talking about it all night, that if they move at pace, they're still pretty good, but they don't do it enough.
Exactly.
And they did it in the fourth quarter, maybe because of some things that Georgia was giving them because they were up 3 touchdowns or whatever. But when they move at pace, they're better. And they don't move at pace enough. Now, Gus will say, well, we didn't get enough first downs. I couldn't get us going. But you've got to adapt. I don't know. That's just my thought.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. All right, what do you think it takes to be a successful head coach now? Because I look at coaches now like Saban and Kirby and Dabo, and I feel like they're more just motivators. Like, you don't even have to be a X's and O's guy. You got to be a motivator and a recruiter. And that's what it takes to be a successful head coach and get great assistants. I mean, we don't need an X's and O's guys. It's not about X's and O's. It's about Jimmy and Joe's.
Word. Look at you. Yeah, I don't know if Gus is a great motivator. I can see your point on that. I don't know enough about like Kirby and Orgeron and Saban as far as the way they motivate their players. I mean, Gus is kind of a nerdy X's and O's guy, which I know makes you guys laugh a little bit because you're like, if he's an X's and O's guy, why are they so bad at X's and O's? But I don't know. I still think he can win football games. He just got a freshman quarterback, and if he had gotten Kelly Bryant like he was trying to do, they probably would have been okay. They would have won at least one of these 3 games they've lost, I think. I mean, they've been fairly close. They were fairly close tonight. I'm not trying to say moral victory. I'm just saying they were fairly close. They were fairly close against LSU. They're fairly close against Florida. I think Kelly Bryant would have pushed him over that, but they didn't get Kelly Bryant. Kelly Bryant's at Missouri getting his ass beat in, and he's hurt now, and kind of a lose-lose.
Yeah. I mean, it's just frustrating to see since 14 we're 2-10 versus Georgia and Alabama.
Nah, it's frustrating. I get it, man. It sucks. And aside from that 17 thing, which you can now kind of write off as, kind of a blip, I guess, it just hadn't been very pretty.
Yeah. Well, I just look at AU and I look at what we need, and I don't know if you watched that SEC, during the past decades, and they had that one of the 80s. And they show. I watched it and I saw what a leader Pat Dye was, and you had a guy who, was coming during Bear Bryant's heyday, not knowing what Bear Bryant was going to do, right? And he came in there and he recruited. He sat across from Bo Jackson and said, "Listen, I will give you every opportunity to play." Got Bo Jackson on campus, beat Bear Bryant, and then took us to a team of the 80s. And I feel like we're in a similar dynasty with Saban. He's not going to keep doing this forever, And you say, Steele would be a good fit, but I'm thinking we need like a young, hungry, go out there, get ball players, and just a true motivator. That's what Auburn needs. What do you think about that?
I think there's value in that, and I think if it ends up being Kevin Steele, then he'll be a good motivator. He's a great motivator, I think. But we got a long way to go to see how this all works out.
Yeah. Good stuff, JG.
All right, Heavyweight, you be good.
All right, thank you, sir.
See you, bro. Heavyweight 4AU. I don't think he's called in before, at least not under that moniker, but good caller. All right, guys, we're we're at the 3.5 hour mark. It's probably long enough. I'm not as drunk as you guys say I am. I think somebody on here was saying I was bombed early. I'm not. I'm really not. I mean, I've been drinking all right, but no, way better than my Ole Miss performance. That was bad. The problem is that my daughter was on the horn. She was here actually at the time, and my administrative assistant was not here. You were on a trip with the ladies. Am I right? So if I don't have if I don't have my wife here. And whoever said that pugs are terrible, I hope you don't come back. That's terrible. How dare you say that? All right, guys, so we're going to wrap it up there. I appreciate you guys being on the chat. There's been so many folks that have stuck around this whole time. AU Taxman's gone wire to wire. Chip's been here pretty much wire to wire. Marion's been here a long time, wire to wire. Lewis has been in and out, but I appreciate that. Cleveland Brown. Gonza's had me laughing a few times for show. Definitely want to give a huge shout out to Hornatius for your support of the show. And also Joker, who I don't think is here now, but was here earlier. Thank you very much for your support of what we're doing here. You guys are the best, seriously. I really appreciate the super chat shouts. Sawyer says, "Don't go, JG." Guys, seriously. I mean, it's 3.5 hours. It's been longer than the game lasted. Lewis, you better take back what you said about it. I can't believe you're saying this mean stuff about pugs, man. I've spent, what do we spent, Cordy, last 12 years with pugs? Maybe longer? Oh, we got Doug in 2000. That's 19 years. The pugs are great pugs. Harry Hohandle says, "Enjoyed it first time here." Hey, I'm sorry I said that bad word early on the show. Something happened when Jay Lee was on, Cordy. No, I said the GD word. Because something was going haywire. I don't know. It's going to be a tough year for me. I know a lot of y'all live in Atlanta or Georgia, and you're going to have to hear about it from these dog fans. And, us here at auburnsports.com, we have kind of a friendly rivalry with our friends at UGAsports.com. They're like frenemies of mine. I'm talking about Roddy. I shit on Roddy as much as I can, but I love Roddy. He runs the site. He's the Commodore over at UGAsports.com. And then Dash is a good guy. I can't really shit on him, but like Trent Smallwood and Paul Meharry, I would gladly kick those guys right in the balls if I could. Not really. I mean, I would, but I would tell them I'm sorry afterward. And now I'm going to have to hear it from them. So, I mean, I'm feeling your pain, you guys. I got to listen to this shit. I have said a lot of mean things about Georgia fans, and I pretty much meant it. I think Tennessee fans are worse, but we're going to have to listen to it. It's just the way it is. Hornatius, do you really want to jump on right now? I mean, do you think this is the time? Courtney says, it is not time to go to bed, Courtney. Come on. If this is not Love the Cats, I'm not taking this call. Hey, caller, how you doing?
I'm on the bus.
Who this?
Horn.
All right, it is Hornatius. First of all, thank you for the super chat earlier, bro. Like 3 times.
Yeah, well, all I wanted you to do is say Hornamania sucked, and you didn't do it. So I'm going to have to reverse the charges on my credit card.
No. Well, then why didn't you put that in the line? I would have said it. I believe it, so I would definitely would have said it.
I was too drunk to do it. Say it.
Hornatius sucks!
No. Hornamania. I'm not going to throw you any more stripper dollars.
Hornswoggle socks! No.
Hey. You guys called a good enough game to win.
No.
Oh, no. Yeah, he did. I have no doubt he's going to beat Alabama. No doubt.
Why do you think that?
Because he's going to do enough to fuck it all up.
Do you really want him to?
Doubt.
Do you want him to stay?
No
Seriously?
I put the blame on the Georgia loss on Bo for like a couple crappy passes, on Schwartz for dropping that one, on our defense for an untimely bust, an untimely penalty, and on our quarterback coach, which is Patrick Nick. I put all of it on him.
Patrick Nix. Get out of here, man.
Hold on. Hey, you want to hit this?
Oh, good God. Please stop. God, this is embarrassing.
I'm back.
First of all, dude, seriously, you got totally cucked like 2 months ago on the show, and now you're gonna pretend like you're puffing a big fatty. Come on, dude.
Hey, dude, you need to not be as loud as you are right now.
Please, I need to be more professional, right?
Please, yep, a lot more professional.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever met that Jay Lee dude? He's as professional as it gets.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest minor people in history, I think.
Have I ever told you minor suck? Pleasant Grove used to beat the shit out of them in baseball. That's Jay Lee. He knows.
All right, Hornamania. No, I'm just kidding. Hornatius, thank you for being part of the show, and you are definitely a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
I've only called in like 43 times tonight.
I'll try to do better next time.
All right, you failed.
See you, bro.
Bye. Yeah.
That's Hornatius. Thank you for your support of the show, bro, and for those super chats earlier. That was awesome. Thank you. All right, we're gonna wrap it up for reals. Did Mav want to come out? I don't know if Mav wanted to say goodbye. I think we've already had enough of Mav. Yeah, exactly. Agonza says, I hear footsteps, Horn. Exactly. Your wife's going to show up and tell you to get off the phone like she did last time. Terrible, man. Terrible. A terrible performance. But I still think you're great. Cleveland Brown says he thinks the brain drain for the Iron Bowl is going to go 5 hours, Courtney. Can I go that long? I can make it that long, but I don't know if I want to go that long. All right. Well, guys, seriously, I've said goodbye like 4 times, but I'm going to say it again. Appreciate that y'all have been here on the show the whole way. You know who you are. I mean, Lewis has been here. Ed Darby's been here. Sterling's been here most of the time. Chip's been here the distance. B-Mac's been a late one, but appreciate you being here, bro. Hey, Gonza's had me laughing my ass off. Let's see. Marion was here making me laugh earlier. Harry Hohandle. A newcomer to the show, but funny. For show. And a Joker's been gone for a minute, but we appreciate his support too. No, we're not going to 1 o'clock tonight. No, we're not. It's 10:30. B-Mac, appreciate you, bro. Thank you for the super chat, man. That's awesome. I know you've been here for a minute. making it laugh. I wish you'd put something in there because I would say it. Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it. Except for my daughter will go to Alabama because that ain't happening, and I will not say that. I was telling them on the bunker the other day, Cordy. She didn't even want to talk to them. Nope. They sent her stuff, and she was like, no, I'm good. 915. Where do you think 915 is, Cordy? I didn't know if it was my dad calling in. I don't know where, what's his name? Drop pass? Dropkick. Dropkick is my dad's, like, handle. BMAX says, do aliens exist? That's a good question. I think they do, realistically speaking. I was hoping my dad would call in. I don't know if you guys who have been on the show every week or whatever. I know there's like 5 of you. It says your daughter will go to Georgia. She is not even talking to Georgia. She has no interest in going to Georgia anywhere. She's going either to Ole Miss, South Alabama, or Transylvania University, where I went to school with my wife. That's it. Those are the only choices. Well, maybe UAB. Maybe. She likes Auburn a lot. It's just that Auburn doesn't. For those of you who have college-age kids or whatever, you know Auburn doesn't give a lot of money. She has a good ACT and a good GPA at a really good high school, and they give you money, but it's not like the money at Ole Miss is probably twice as much as Auburn. It's only tuition at Auburn, and in other places it's more than that. Here we go again. Hornacia says, my wife said the show is better with a female co-host. Hey, I asked Maddie where she was earlier, and she says she's over at Deborah's. So I guess she failed you guys. I've been here with you for 3.5 hours, but she hadn't done it. Slauson says send her to South. If she wants to go to South, I'm good with that. Yeah, she was at Auburn today, but Jacob says Auburn's stingy, boy. You're right about that. I wonder where Dropkick is. Hey, Gonzas, thank you for the super chat, bro. Can we get rid of Gus and keep Christy? Interesting. My wife knows that I do like Christy a lot. Do you like Christy a lot? You don't. She does keep it real. There's no doubt about that. Do you want to get on the show? No, thank you. My wife would rather stay in the shadows, as the kids say. Tell Hornatius to grow a pair, B-Mac says. I told somebody in the bunker that this morning. I felt bad because sometimes it's taken the wrong way. I think it was Elite Gus that was like, Auburn's going to lose, and he was right about that. And I was just like, it's game day. Like, don't have that attitude at 10 a.m. on a pretty game day. Like even if you're mad at Gus and you really want him to go and you kind of want the team to lose because you want Gus to go home, like, don't just shit on him on game day. Like, if you're an Auburn person, be for Auburn that day. And then when they lose or whatever, if they lose, which they did in this case, then you can let it rip and whatever. But, I mean, at some point, you've got to buckle down and say, I hope good things happen. That's just my opinion. Damon says, Auburn is stingy with the scholarship money, Courtney, because they're saving for the buyout. Lewis says, Courtney is the Robin to Jay's Howard. Or to Howard, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you're Robin Quivers. Kind of talking in the, what'd you say? She is the brains, yeah. You're kind of the brains, this organization, I think. I'm not a total idiot. Come on, you guys. I know you got my back on this. Thank you very much, of course, to A Gonzas for that super chat and to BMAC as well. Thank you, guys, for your support on that. All right, I really am going to go now. I've been made fun of because I didn't drink enough of this old granddad. But I told you guys I made an ass out of myself in the Ole Miss game. Got way too drunk afterwards. Even McCready called in. I didn't even make fun of him. Well, I kind of did afterwards, but it's probably not good enough. I know they're live right now because their game just ended like an hour ago. They scored like 35 points on LSU. Isn't that crazy? The final in that game was 58-37. I know. It does sound like basketball. And Kentucky won again. Beat Vanderbilt 38-14. Vanderbilt's terrible. Please. And Texas A&M throttled South Carolina tonight. Yikes. Marion says, "Are you drunk?" I wouldn't go driving right now, but I don't feel like I'm lit. Like super, like I'm not like Punta Cana drunk. Like when that chick said that I was a drunk, your typical drunk American. I was like, "There's nothing typical about me, woman." Some chick from Plymouth, England. Was like, "Oh, he's just your typical drunk American." I was like, "How dare you put me in that box, woman?" All right. We're going to wrap it up, guys. Appreciate you. We'll be back. Oh, wait, hold on. Should we even be back for the Samford game? Is that even worth doing? That game's going to be at 11 a.m. That means the brain drain will be at like 3 o'clock. They're going to beat the snot out of Samford. They're going to rush for like 4,000 yards. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it because we love it. Okay? We love it. We'll do it because we love it. We'll do it live. All right, guys. Peace out. Let's make good decisions out there. Stay strong. I know it's going to be tough for a lot of you guys on Monday. You got to have all these Georgia people yapping. I'm going to be hearing it from the UGA sports guys. It's just part of life. It's just part of life. It's just the way it goes sometimes. All right, guys. Peace out. Love you guys. Be good. And subscribe to auburnsports.com. See you.